It is rainy and wet here in Mansfield, Texas, but a national championship is on the line. Big League Dreams, the host of the 13 and under Travel Ball Select National Championships between FTB Sports 55 Elite and the NorCal Grizzlies. And welcome you to our broadcast alongside Nick Belmonte. I'm Bernie Gunther. Great to have you with us. National championship on the line. And man, oh man, if this one is as good as the 11 under championship, we're in for a treat.
Well, we saw the team from Dallas upset the team from Miami, a big upset, a team that was down 3 runs late in the ball game. They come back winning in extra innings. And today we have, hey, I love the matchup. You got California versus Florida. That's always a great matchup. These kids want to win national championship. I mean, I was working with some minor leaguers last week, and I'm looking at some of these 13U guys. They're as big, if not bigger, than some of the minor leaguers I work with. This is going to be some great baseball. And, of course, you take a look at this championship game. What's the key for these guys? They got to have plenty of nerves here, about to play for a national championship. Well, that's it. You know, you have a chance to possibly win your first national championship of your lifetime. At an early age, you get national exposure on a TV game like this. This is great. You're going to see the cream of the crop come to the top here today. We'll have the 13 under Travel Ball Select National Championship starting lineup and first pitch when we come back from a rainy and wet Mansfield, Texas.
We use the new Rawlings bat with the BB Core Standard. It's the bat that the players want to use. They got to have great balance. They got to have the feel, the handle, the grip, the performance of the bat, and how far they can hit a ball and how hard they can hit a ball. And Rawlings has hit the mark in all those areas. The players felt that Rawlings was a step ahead of the class. Rawlings made a commitment to get their aluminum bat at the top of the charts in college baseball. Now that's where they are right now.
You want to play for the ring? You want to play on ESPN? Go to TravelBallSelect.com for information on the 2013 state championships in California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Look out for additional states coming your way in 2014.
Getting set for the 13U Travel Ball Select National Championship. We're glad you're with us. Bernie Gunther, Nick Belmonte, and our entire crew. Let's check out the starters for the NorCal Grizzlies. It's Jimmy McClenaghan leading things off in center field. Sam Nowitzki bats second at second base. Williams at short. Soderstrom is the cleanup hitter at third. Rooney in left field. Costa the pitcher. It's Justin Bernard in right field. Matt Mascio the catcher. And Cole Coffey rounds out the lineup for the NorCal Grizzlies, going up against Nick O'Day and FTB Sports 55 Elite, who comes in as the home team.
Always important in these games, especially the championship game. These young pitchers throw strikes early, get their team in their dugout as quick as possible, take the nerves, settle the nerves, and start playing ball. So it's very interesting. It's been kind of drizzling all day, and we saw some effects in the first game because of it, but you know, both teams, Northern California and a team from Florida.
They played in a little rain over.
Both places, they're familiar with rain.
Nick O'Day starts off this national championship with a called strike against Jimmy McClenaghan, center fielder out of Modesto, California. Good news, we're right in the middle of the day, so it's 1 o'clock over in California for the fans watching the ball game. It's 4 o'clock on the East Coast, so certainly time-wise, no advantage here. Sometimes when you go east and west, time can play a role in these games.
Yeah, right there in the middle. And you know, they're all fired up anyway. It's adrenaline going, and championship game shouldn't affect anything. 0-2
to the McClenaghan, and O'Day got him upstairs for strikeout number 1 of the ball game.
You see a little heat on that fastball right there.
Here's the defense for FTB Sports 55 Elite. It's Diaz in left, Cox in center, Hurst is in right field. In the infield, it's Bell at third, Torres is the shortstop, Sapp is at second, Mitchell at first, and Jorge Ramirez is behind home plate. Sam Nowitzki, the second baseman.
This is a kid they brought in. He's originally from Wisconsin. And he loves the fact that he could play year-round in Northern California. Of course, Wisconsin doesn't have a baseball team at the University of Wisconsin. They used to.
But such a tough place to play baseball. You know, you talk about the advantage over the years that you've seen, you know, that the SEC and even the Pac-12 has over the likes of some of those schools that are up in the Big Ten and up in the Northeast and the Big East. Just because of the conditions, you just can start so much earlier down in the South in the SEC and out in the Pac-12.
See, his favorite player is Ryan Braun, so a kid from Wisconsin would like a Brewers player. You could see that.
Talk about a perfect place to play baseball. I think NorCal is just about as good as it gets. Nick O'Day is suddenly, after getting a strikeout to start the ball game and going right after Jimmy McClanahan, kind of lost control. 4 straight balls, and Sam Nowitzki, the second baseman, is aboard via base on ball.
I think his catcher hung on to that last one. He might have gotten a borderline strike there.
Alex Williams, the shortstop, as the Grizzlies have their first base runner of the ball game. That one snuck outside, and so we'll make it 5 consecutive balls thrown by Nick O'Day.
O'Day gets a lot of run on his pitches. Nice little backhand pickup right there by Mitchell, first baseman. That was testing the rattle around the bullpen.
Alex Williams has been playing in travel ball since 9 years old. And him and Antonio Costa have played together for 7 years. Pretty special relationship when you take a look at just 13 years old. Basically been together half their life, more than half their life technically. The strike call there, and it's 1-2. Upstairs, it's 3-1. The Grizzlies trying to strike first here in this national championship game. That one's low and away, and back-to-back walks given up by Nick O'Day. There's 2 on and just 1 out.
Well, you talked about him losing it after the first hitter, and a lot of it's because he's getting so much run on his ball. And when that happens, you just tell your pitcher, just aim it right down the center of the plate. If it's got run on it, it'll catch a corner. See that sometimes, you know, with the pro pitchers, they get so much run on it. Well, the first thing you tell them is just throw it right down the middle. If it's got all that run on it, it'll bite. But once you try to hit a corner, it's got run on it, it'll be off the plate.
Tate Stornstrom, the cleanup hitter, third baseman, at the plate. Big opportunity for the Grizzlies here early on in the ball game. I know you're impressed with how big these guys are that are out on the field.
These guys are huge for their age. This is 13U. I mean, my goodness.
The 0-1 from O'Day, swung on and driven to center field. Nate Cox goes back, and it's gone. A home run. And the Grizzlies are up 3-0 early on.
Yeah, sitting on a fastball right down the middle. He got it. That's what happens when you fall behind. You can just sit on your pitch because you know he's got to come in fastball. Oh, yeah, it's a dangerous place right down and into that left-handed hitter.
That one was drilled into the backdrop of Yankee Stadium.
That's right where Reggie hit his, yeah. Right up there. Reggie Jackson, 77 World Series.
Big league dreams, man. So pretty neat that you walk around this ballpark and you got replica parks all around Major League Baseball. It's a special place to play, and we mentioned in the first game the fact that there is turf in the infield is the only reason why we're here calling this ball game, because if this infield was dirt, there's no way we would have had the opportunity to play 2 games, as it has rained all morning long.
Well, it really has stayed as a steady drizzle since around 9 o'clock this morning. So this field's in great shape because of the turf. A couple of slips here and there by the players, but the fact that they can get the game in is amazing.
Three balls and a strike. And the interesting storyline for Nick O'Day is he went right after Jimmy McClenaghan got the strikeout to start the ball game. Then apparently we saw a couple pitches where it looked like it may have slipped out of his hand. Walk, and then he gives up a 3-run home run. And that's the third walk allowed of the ball game early on by O'Day. And there's a runner aboard with 1 out.
I'm just going to give him a little breather right here. And the fact that, you know, the magnitude of the game is one of those where you tell the kid at this point, hey, forget the score. Let's start over. We got a good offense. We haven't even hit yet. We got to trust our defense. Just play catch with the catcher. Don't try to overthink this thing. You try to hit corners and try to work different sides of the plate, and you don't have your command going. That snowballs into what we're seeing right now. 3 walks in 5 hitters.
Here's Antonio Costa.
He's having trouble right now repeating his delivery, and he's flying open, and this is what's happening. So you really got to concentrate on your release point, your balance point here.
Costa getting the nod as the starting pitcher. Probably feeling pretty comfortable the fact that he's going to go take the mound with at least
yeah.
a 3-run lead.
That was a better delivery right there, a little more compact.
1-1, foul back, it's 1-2.
I like that. The last 2 pitches, he repeated his delivery. He kept it a little more compact, and as a result, got 2 quick strikes.
Well, O'Day has a chance for a second strike out of the ball game, and he's got him.
That is one emphatic strike call by the umpire. Wow. You know you're out.
He's bringing his
Watch
ESPN
this.
game today.
I'm telling you.
Justin Bernard, the right fielder. Oh, and just scooted outside, ball 1.
You know, the term punch-out only should be applied on called third strikes, by the way. I think people abuse that term. Everybody says when a guy has 10 strikeouts, he has 10 punch-outs. Well, actually, it's not 10 punch-outs. It's only if you're called looking. That is where the term was originally derived. So called third is a punch-out. Everything else is not.
The 2-0. Fouled away. And I know you like to keep all of us, especially the play-by-play announcers, on top of the punch-out.
Well, it was derived because on that strike 3 call, the umpire will make a punching sign where he doesn't do that when you swing and miss for strike 3. That's where the term came about.
3-1 to the Grizzly right fielder. Bouncing ball back to O'Day. He composes himself, tosses over to first to retire the side, but 2 walks led to this long home run. Tate Swordstrom with a 3-run shot, and the NorCal Grizzlies up by 3 early on in the national championship game.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add Vanishing Deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
You SSSA members, you could save money on your auto insurance. Call a local Nationwide agent or 1-866-556-SAVE.
You want a shot at the national championship? The 2013 Travel Ball National Championship Series could be your ticket. For more information, go to travelball.com. The road to the national championship starts here.
Back at Big League Dreams in Mansfield, NorCal leading FTB Sports 55 Elite 3-0 here. Let's check out the starters for Elite 55. It looks this way. Diaz leads things off. He's followed by Torres, O'Day the pitcher. Mitchell is in the cleanup hole. Sapp bats behind him. Ramirez is the catcher. Hurst in right, Cox in center. Pedro Figueroa the designated hitter, and they'll bat 10 with Dylan Bell coming to the plate to round out the lineup as they go up against Antonio Costa, who goes to the mound with a 3-run advantage to start the ball game. That's always got to feel pretty good.
Absolutely. And kid from Castro Valley, loves the Oakland A's. They're having a great year down there.
I won 3 big hit, kid. Let's go.
The East Bay. That's what I love about Oakland. They don't have any of the high-priced players, but they contend every year.
Moneyball.
Billy Bean.
Guess when you build it, got to continue the legacy, right?
Yeah. They're a fun team to watch.
You can see the rain continuing to fall here from Big League Dreams in Mansfield. Bottom of the first, and Ricardo Diaz is the first hitter for FTB Sports 55 Elite. Driven to center, and in comes McClenaghan to make the play for out number 1.
Nice jump on the ball by McClenaghan. Favorite player, Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer had a tough time making that play. He used to play in the outfield. Slim Jim, they call him.
1 away, and first pitch swinging for Adams Torres. And F8 in your scorebook is how we start the bottom of the first.
Slim Jim again.
Here's the defense for the NorCal Grizzlies. We've seen McClenaghan make the first 2, and in the outfield with him, Justin Bernard in right and Rooney to his left. Soderstrom, who hit the 3-run home runs at third, Williams at short, Nowitzki at second, Coffey is at first, and Mascio is behind home plate. Here's Nick O'Day, the pitcher. Costa with a chance for a 1-2-3 first. That's exactly what you're looking for when your team gives you 3.
Yeah, the old shutdown point. Can't overemphasize how important it is to throw a 0 up there after your team got you some runs, especially early in the ball game. That first inning, if you could throw a 0 up there and set the tone for your ball club, it's huge.
Two and two.
One thing you know, you can't hit a grand slam with nobody on base, so you're just trying to get on base right here. It's your job as a 3-hole hitter. You got to separate that from being a pitcher.
That one just off the outside corner, and the count is full.
Because remember, pitchers and the rest of the team are essentially playing 2 different sports. So as a hitter and a pitcher, you got to separate the 2 mindset when you're up there. You got to forget about what's going on the mound and deal with being the offensive guy. That's why it's so tough to be a 2-way player.
Pitcher versus pitcher here. Into right field, Justin Bernard gives chase, and that one goes foul. I mean, we see it obviously at the youth level. Most of the best players on the team end up pitching. But at this level as well, you need a lot of arms because, as we talked about in the first game, a pinch count really plays a role, not only in this game, because your pitches carry over from your previous games in the national championship as well. Payoff pitch, missed outside, and FTB has their first base runner of the ball game as O'Day gets aboard.
I'm not sure I agree with that call right there. A breaking ball with 3 strikes. I mean, 3 balls and a 3-run lead and 2 outs. I mean, I think you got to challenge him. It's a breaking ball right here. That's a lot of respect with a 3-run lead to show a hitter with 2 outs, nobody on.
It's 1-0 to Austin Mitchell, the first baseman.
Come on, 2-1.
1-1.
Austin Mitchell, his favorite player is the retired Chipper Jones, favorite team, the Atlanta Braves. What a career Chipper Jones had.
Mitchell out of Lake Mary, Florida. Just north of Orlando. Takes a called strike. And Antonio Costa trying to size up his first strikeout of the ball game. The 1-2. Outside, it's 2-2. And Matt Mascio wants to go out and talk to his pitcher.
Well, right here, again, you know, you just should just challenge the guy till you get to 2 strikes, and then the catcher's shaking his head and putting the sign down. Pretty, they're not on the same page, obviously.
And so that's by a young catcher at 13 years old. The wise move there to go back and get on the same page, but they get on the same page, and this one's lifted to left field. Sean Rooney comes in, makes the play to retire the side. 3 flyouts and a walk. FTB Sports 55 Elite strands a runner. After 1, the Grizzlies leading by 3.
USSSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world. Headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida, USSSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, USSSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSSA.
At 10 years old, Bryce Harper's father's best advice was,
"Son, you just gotta swing away."
And swing away he did.
Setting records in every age group he played.
And now at Major League All-Star as a rookie, as well as 2012 Rookie of the Year honors.
I've been using swing away since I was a kid, and I still use it as a pro.
Introducing the Bryce Harper MVP Edition. On sale for just $199 on swingaway.com. And now on sale at the Sports Authority.
Or swingaway.com.
We're back for the second inning. Travel Ball Select National Championship. Bernie Gunther, Nick Belmonte, we're so glad you're with us here from Mansfield, Texas. Yankee Stadium is the site of this national championship. And man, the Grizzlies get off to a great start. Tate Soderstrom with a 3-run home run, the difference so far in this ball game. And now this is where Nick O'Day, who walked 3 in the first, has to recompose himself as he starts the second, because it is a whole new inning and a fresh inning.
Well, they got the shutdown point, did the Grizzlies, so now it's up to O'Day to keep the Northern California bunch right at 3 and let his offense go to work.
The Grizzlies come in 4-2 in this national championship. They lost to NorCal baseball 3-2 in the first game. They lost to the Dallas Tigers 9-4, and then they've roared their way back in the ball game, and that's what we've seen has been a little bit of the storyline earlier.
Yep. Oh, I like that. Favorite player, Buster Posey. There's a good one right there.
Matt Mascio, the catcher, leading off here in the second.
See, that Buster Posey's another one these young kids should emulate, because you don't see Buster Posey if he gets a call against him or a strike against somebody umpire. He doesn't go crazy. He just, okay, I'm a professional. I'll get him next time. You know, guys like, you know, David Eckstein and Derek Jeter, same way.
Up top evens the count at 1-1. That's the great thing about picking a player to emulate, is you hope that you can do and follow him in many realms, hopefully on and off the playing field.
Yeah, you want to pick the guy that, you know, the parents would love to see you pick the model citizen like a Jeter or an Eckstein or a Posey.
O'Day looking for strikeout number 3. Instead, this one hit into right field. It falls for a hit. The second hit of the ball game for the Grizzlies. Mascio, a nice job of taking this one to the opposite field.
Watch him just one hand poke this thing. There you go. Nice job of making the adjustment right there and just finding a home for it. You know, hitting is all about finding the hole and making adjustments. It's not always about line drives here and there. Guy makes a good pitch on you and you fight it off for a base hit. That's just as much a part of hitting as, you know, hitting the ball and barreling it up and hitting it off the wall or out of the ballpark. You got to get those adjustment hits like that every now and then.
Cole Coffey at the plate in the 9-hole as the Grizzlies have already batted around here. Nobody out on the top of the second. O'Day fires a strike. What's the biggest thing you're thinking about here? Because you're kind of in a borderline age here. Travel Ball Select National Championships. This is the 13U division. And this is where you're really starting to work to progress if you're going to make it to the next level as a baseball player. And I'm not even saying the next level Major League Baseball, but to play in college.
Well, this is the part of your life when you're this age where you really hit you because you're going to start getting different distractions in your life right now. So now is when it really hits you that this is what I actually do love to do, because it's going to get harder and everything's going to get faster, and you've got to make adjustments and you got to put the time in. And if you really love the game and playing the game, you're going to love to practice, and that's what you're going to need as you move forward at this age, because again, you're going to get different distractions at this time in your life. And almost gets away, but guys you played ball with growing up, they're going to fall by the wayside and they're going to give it up. You're going to have less and less players to practice with that you've practiced with your whole life up to this time. So now's when you have to decide that, hey, this is what I really want to do, because now you're going to have to find people to practice with, because a lot of guys you grew up with are going to go off in different directions. So this is a big time in your life where you have to decide, do I really love this game?
1-2. Foul back and away. And this is still the age where you talk about the fundamentals. You know, we've called together 9, 10, 11-year-old, but you still want to try to be as technically sound as possible at 13 and under, because as you get bigger and stronger, having all the technical aspects is going to make you an even better baseball player.
Yeah, and the fundamentals never go away.
That one's going to get away from the catcher Ramirez, and there's a runner in scoring position with nobody out as Mascio moves to second. Well, maybe this is the fact that it's rained all day long. Lots of problems for the catcher holding on.
Yeah, that's going to be a pass ball. It's not a wild pitch, because that's a very catchable ball, but it's not easy catching balls through a raindrop.
2-2, swung on and driven to center field. Nate Cox tries to track it down, and in comes Mascio, and it's 4-0 Grizzlies. An RBI in the 9-hole for Cole Coffey. Back-to-back singles to start the second.
They call him not cold coffee, but hot coffee, and that's what it is right here. Splits the defenders. That pitch was a hanger, and he jumps all over it.
One on, nobody out, one already in. We're back to the top of the lineup. Jimmy McClenn again. And Nick O'Day got off to such a great start. He went right after McClenn again. Got him to strike out, got well ahead.
Well, what you could see, you see a good arm in O'Day. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the kid has a good arm. He's just missing his spots today, and it could be, you know, the weather. It could be pitching on turf. It could be a lot of different things. See, that's a good breaking ball. Right? He's actually gotten squeezed a couple of pitches in this sequence. The first one I thought was an outer third strike, and I thought he just dropped a nice breaking ball in on the knees right there. But when you're walking people, sometimes you don't get the benefit of the calls.
3-0. There's a walk, and there's 2 on with nobody out. But, I mean, I guess we talked about the maturity in the last game and some disgruntled team MVP players that didn't like the strike. You saw O'Day just turn around and give it a smile.
Yeah, that's
as
all you can
opposed
do.
to
yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna win any friends with the umpires if you act all depressed and what did you do to me attitude.
Sam Nowitzki.
You just catch the ball from the catcher and you play on.
Fouls that one back and away.
It all kind of evens out in your career when you look back. I mean, I remember a lot of times playing where I might have disagreed with some strike calls, but I also felt I got some breaks on balls that were maybe on the outer third, should have been rung up for strike three, and the umpire called it a ball.
And you see immediately after that pitch, he goes down and reaches and tries to dry off the hand. Maybe this is the day where you think about using a rosin bag or something like that if you're not used to using it?
Yeah, there's no question. This would be a good rosin bag day.
Strike call, it's 1-2.
These are days the rosin bag is made for.
1-2 with 2 on and nobody out. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Nick O'Day. First out here in the second.
There's the breaking ball right there. Look at that nice 12-6 movement. Hear that term? It's like a clock. Starts out at where the 12 is, ends up where the 6 is. He's thrown some good ones this inning.
First pitch swinging for Alex Williams. Into the left field corner and out of play.
See, Alex Williams is one of their better hitters. And that pitch had some life on it. And all Williams could do is foul it off. He was behind it because this kid throws hard. O'Day, he can get it up there. I mean, I could see why he's pitching in this game.
Still a critical point here in the second as they check the runner back. This one's going to go into center field. But on second base, Cole Coffey holds.
That play hardly ever works in the big leagues. So it's a tough play to whirl around and hit a moving target like that and make a tag. And I will tell you this, if you're out there and you're scuffling, the last thing you need to divert your attention to is the runner at second base. You got to go get the hitter.
0-1. This one driven to left field, falls for a base hit. Diaz will try to track it down. Coffey's going to come in to score and make it 5-0 Grizzlies. An RBI for the Grizzlies shortstop, Alex Williams.
It's a breaking ball. He hangs it. And what Williams does right here, and because he was behind on the fastball, it sped up his bat on the breaking ball, and he was able to dunk it in the left field. But he left that pitch up, and a nice adjustment by Alex Williams, the kid they call A-Dub.
And we're going to get a new pitcher for FTB, Sports 55 Elite. And that's maybe another one of the differences, if you will, at this level compared to what you'd see in college and the major leagues is you got to come in sometimes and just get your warm-up tosses and then go and throw. You don't have a chance to go in the bullpen just because of these tight rosters. We'll take a break. When you come back, we'll tell you about the new FTB Sports 55 Elite pitcher. The Grizzlies up by 5 early on.
3, 2, 1, go! Time!
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
Austin Mitchell, the new pitcher for FTB Sports 55 Elite. They trail by 5, a 7th grader from Lake Mary, Florida. Started off at first, and now will move to the mound And again, the difficulties, you really got to get in the zone quickly. You're coming from first to going in and pitching. Is there anything you can do as a youngster to get yourself prepared for this even pregame?
Well, you know, they're this far into the tournament, too, that it's not like he's coming over and this is the first game they're playing. So it's probably going to be a little quicker for him. And he probably knew he was first guy up today. And again, some preparation prior to the game probably took place as well. So, you know, he seems to be getting all the pitches he wants right here. I don't know what the actual rule is, but he's at least pitched double digits in warm-ups right here.
Gets a full bullpen session.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know, he's going to pitch when he's ready, and the key there right now is to hold the Grizzlies right where they are at 5, because they're threatening to really run away and hide with this thing. They only have one out, first and second, and they can make this a absolute monster inning that will be tough to overcome the rest of the day. So it's up to Austin Mitchell right here to just shut the door, and I mean slam it, and keep them right at 5.
And Nick O'Day stays in the ball game, and he'll play first. You just get to switch gloves. Well, Austin Mitchell's got to be careful here because Tate Soderstrom was the one who hit the 3-run home run back in the first. An absolute bomb. It's 300 to center field here.
And that was a no-doubter. This is a shot of the home run. He's going to take it right to center field. See ya.
Nate Cox just slides because he knows there's no chance to try to grab that one. Inside, it's a ball and a strike to the Grizzlies' third baseman. Two and one.
Well, he needs to get an out right here and stop the bleeding.
Sam Nowitzki, the only out of the inning, struck out. Cleanup hitter for NorCal. Three and one.
Well, you're up there just looking to drive something with 3-1 here. You're looking to one place, maybe a little in. You could pull it
to left, down the line, and fair. An RBI single once again. 3 RBI singles in the inning. And Tate Soderstrom, he's got 4 RBIs already in the ball game.
Well, he gets a pitch that's in, and he just inside out swings it. And this is a nice piece of hitting. They call this guy Tater Tot, but I mean, he's the whole potato, isn't he? My goodness.
Well, he brings in Jimmy McClin again, and here's Sean Rooney. He walked in his first plate appearance. First pitch, they appealed on to first. They say, no siree. It's 1-0. The Grizzlies leading 6-0 in this 13U National Championship game, and I don't think we expected this at all, especially after as close of a game we had in the first game. But you take a look at that, and if Sports 55 Elite got a chance to come over here, especially around the 5th, they should still take some lessons from that last game, because the national champion was trailing by 3, and they continue to work their way back in the ballgame. There's still plenty of time in this one.
Oh, without question. They just got to just keep this thing from getting any further. Sean Rooney, the hitter right here, he's ahead of the count. So he's looking for a pitch he can drive.
2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike.
Now, as a hitter, you're looking for something in your zone, and you don't swing at anything unless it's right there on 3-1. David Ortiz in the Red Sox, favorite team and player for Rooney. Big Poppy having a big year.
Mitchell in danger of loading the bases. Gets a strike there, and the count is full, 3-2.
I know it's 1 out, but I've seen coaches get a little frisky and start their runners 3-2 with 1 out. Let's see how they play it.
Payoff pitch, runner going at second. Here's the throw down to third. Not in time. A stolen base for Williams, but there are 2 away as Mitchell picks up his first strikeout of the ball game.
Soderstrom missed the sign there, stayed at first. After the play was over, he put his hands out like, oh, okay, didn't know that was on.
So they're on the corners for Antonio Costa. He's really starting to get comfortable now. The starting pitcher for the Grizzlies. His squad up 6-0. If he can get a single here, he may have a chance to make the Grizzlies have a short ball game. Down and outside, it's 2-0. Take a look at, there's a run rule, 15 after 3. 8 after 5. And we're still quite a ways away from that happening. But the walk here loads the bases. And certainly that's not on the forefront of the minds of anybody for FTB Sports 55 Elite, but this is another long inning. 9 batters coming to the plate for the NorCal Grizzlies in this one as Justin Bernard comes to town, the right fielder who ended the first with a ground out.
The Nard dog, Justin Bernard.
Mitchell trying to get out of a bases loaded jam. He's ahead 0-2.
Favorite team for Bernard, Giants. Favorite player, Ryan Vogelsong.
Got him swinging. Mitchell picks up his second strikeout of the inning, but NorCal tacks on 3 more. An RBI single for Mascio, for Coffey, and for Williams. It's 6-0 Grizzlies.
We use the new Raleigh's bat with the BB Core standard. It's the bat that the players want to use. They got to have great balance. They got to have the feel, the handle, the grip, the performance of the bat, and how far they can hit a ball and how hard they can hit a ball. And Rawlings has hit the mark in all those areas. The players felt that Rawlings was a step ahead of the class. Rawlings made a commitment to get their aluminum bat at the top of the charts in college baseball. Now that's where they are right now.
You want to play for the ring? You want to play on ESPN? Go to TravelBallSelect.com for information on the 2013 state championships in California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Look out for additional states coming your way in 2014.
We are back. 6-0 NorCal Grizzlies on top of Sports 55 Elite. 6 runs on 5 hits. And last inning, they just strung together a bunch of singles, Nick.
That's all it took. And put some good swings on some balls right there. And just tacking on runs, a huge deal. Another shutdown opportunity for Costa right here. And I mean, another 0 he throws up there. Then you start throwing that little seed of doubt into the opposition. And, well, maybe it's not our day. It's raining. You know, it's gloomy. We're not playing well. You know, maybe this team from Northern. But they have the opportunity right here. Just 1 run, couple of base runners. Breed some new hope and life into the Florida Club's dugout right here. So this is a huge inning for both sides.
Sports 55 Elite had just 1 base runner so far. Nick O'Day reached on a walk. This is James Sapp, the second baseman. It's Sapp, Ramirez, and Hurst here in the second. 2-1. You got to get hazard insurance if you're going to run our home plate camera today. 3-1. full count.
Well, it's all about base runners. Can't hit a 7-run home run, but you can get on base and start the rally.
To right, it's over the glove of Justin Bernard, the first hit of the ball game for Sports 55 Elite. And sometimes that's just how it starts.
Oh, that's a great swing right there. James Sepp, gotta love this guy. He loves the Florida Gators. Favorite player Robinson Cano. But that's about as good a swing as we've seen put on a ball here today on both sides out of the 4 teams we've seen.
That's
Nice.
the type of at bat Sully would like.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Sullivan, the head coach of the Florida Gators.
No question about it. He took that ball and drove it opposite way, and you love seeing that.
Outside pitch to Jorge Ramirez. Sap on his way to second. George Gonzalez, who's part of FTB. It's kind of a little bit of a pool up to the Florida Gators over the years with Kevin O'Sullivan. You know, you just expect in-state that you'd find a lot of talent, and especially at this high level. And that's what you're seeing today here in this 1300 National Championship game. These are many of the faces that we're going to be seeing around the country in a couple years being big stars at colleges around the nation as well.
Well, this is a kid. Look at his size right here. I mean, big, strong kid, 13U. You know, big power hitter. I mean, this guy right here, like I said, he looks as big as some of the minor leaguers I worked with last week. Doing some minor league instruction. Big, strong kid here.
2-2. You couldn't tell he's 13 from that picture, could you? Sports 55 Elite trying to get their first run of the ball game. With a runner on third and nobody out.
All right, kids, straighten out. Let's do this.
Antonio Costa trying to get out of his first jam.
This would be a big out for him. I know he's got a 6-run lead, but he'd like to stop it right here.
This one swung on, and it should score at least a run. Justin Bernard will grab it. Sapp tags, and he'll come in to score. And it's 6-1.
Well, it's one of those where both sides are happy. You're happy to get the out if you have the 6-run lead, even though it allows a run to score, but also you're happy if you lead 55 because you're on the board and you've answered and got a little momentum back.
Ramirez getting a sacrifice fly for an RBI, and that brings up Everett Hurst, the right fielder. Hurst fouls that one back and away. 8th grader from Sebring, Florida.
Another Bryce Harper fan, many of them.
At the knees for a strike.
Talk about Hurst. He's the guy that loves to keep his teammates loose. You got to have one of those guys on the ball.
That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. You're the one that keeps the broadcast loose. I know that. The first game we called together, I remember in the Open, you described an Auburn player walking with clown shoes in a minefield.
That sounds familiar.
3-2. And a walk.
Hey, you know, that's what you like to see. See Hurst hustling down to first base, all of David Eckstein, and the fire's back in the dugout. The boys from Florida excited.
Come on, one. Be a hitter, kid.
And keep this thing going. Now remember, you know, they're not even one time through the lineup yet, so you never say die.
Nate Cox outside. That one gets away from Mascio. And a runner in scoring position as Everett Hurst moves up and gets to second. Pass balls have been a big storyline. Pass balls, wild pitches with the rainy conditions.
Yeah, it was a little lack of concentration right there.
And they're not going to waste any time. NorCal is going to bring, oh wait, I thought they were going to bring in a new pitcher. Instead, they're just bringing on some towels.
Bringing a dry baseball is what they're doing. They actually walked out a dry baseball.
Well, I don't imagine it will stay dry for long.
No.
Come on, one.
Here's the 1-0. 2-0.
Hey, both sides are playing under the same conditions, so no advantage either way.
The wind essentially howling straight out to left as well.
That is true. The wind has picked up here today, right now, about as hard as it has blown all day long.
2-1.
See, with these young catchers, they're going to learn as they get older. You can't backhand. That was the guy a little lucky there keeping that in front. If you backhand a ball like that, chances are it's going to get by. You want to slide your body over, get your chest in front of it, get your knees down, cup your shoulders.
Popped up down the right field line, but foul.
Hey, good cut one. Straighten it out. Way to fight, kid. Keep your head in there. Straighten it out, kid. Let's go.
Payoff pitch. Thought about checking the runner back.
Always like when a pitcher leaves that runner alone when he has to come up with a big 3-2 pitch.
Slow roll on the infield. Costa over to first. Gets the play for out number 2. Everett Hurst moves to third.
Come on, Petey. Be hit up there, kid. Let's go.
And so it's up to Pedro Figueroa to continue the second inning.
Pedro Figueroa says his favorite players are Robinson Cano and Roberto Alomar.
His father Julio is the manager of the team. Always some elevated expectations when you have your dad as the head coach. 2-0. Strike called, it's 2-1. High hopper on the infield. William across the diamond, now retires the side, but James Sapp starts off the inning with a double. Ramirez with a sacrifice fly to score the first run of the ball game for Sports 55 Elite.
USSSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world. Headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida, USSSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, USSSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSSA.
At 10 years old, Bryce Harper's father's best advice was,
Son, you just gotta swing away.
And swing away he did, setting records in every age group he played. And now at Major League All-Star as a rookie, as well as 2012 Rookie of the Year honors.
I've been using swing weight since I was a kid, and I still use it as a pro.
Introducing the Bryce Harper MVP Edition. On sale for just $199 on swingaway.com. And now on sale at the Sports Authority or swingaway.com.
Well, we know that this is a game of momentum. I'm not going to say that a run scoring is a complete momentum change, but in many ways, maybe it stops the momentum for the NorCal Grizzlies.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that changes with Austin Mitchell starting his second inning of work in relief of Nick O'Day.
I agree with you. Baseball is a lot more of a momentum game than people give it credit. A lot of people see football and basketball, especially basketball, you call timeouts to stop momentum. Baseball is a very momentum-based game from the standpoint. After you score, what you want to do is you want to throw that zero up there, and that's a big thing right here that has to happen.
Well, offensively, NorCal has been just about as good as you can ask. They batted 7 in the first. They bat 9 in the second inning. And we start the third with Matt Mascio, the same exact spot that we were in the second. He started off the inning with a single and came around to score. It's Mascio, Coffey, and McClenaghan. Remember, the Grizzlies started off the first inning with a 3-run home run to get on the scoreboard first. And after a long delay in between innings.
Yeah, they were waiting for Nate Cox, the center fielder. It took him a long time to get out there to center field. And that was the original holdup. There's Nate.
What you want?
The first pitch to Mascio is taken and driven to left for a base hit. So back-to-back leadoff singles for the Grizzly catcher. And the third begins just like the second with Mascio aboard.
Starts him off, breaking ball, and just hangs it and he sits on it. That's a nice piece of hitting because as a hitter, chances are you're looking for first pitch fastball, and he recognized breaking ball out of the hand and kept his hands back. So that's a high aptitude piece of hitting right there.
Cole Coffey, RBI single in his first plate appearance, takes a called strike, then has a big smile. That's the maturation process that we're talking about at 13 years old. Maybe the difference between the last game we had with some grumbly 11-year-olds and now at 13, they figure out you still get 2 more strikes. Now he's down to just 1 strike because it's 0-2 to the Grizzly first baseman.
Yeah, Coffey got a big hit in that inning as well.
Trying to get him upstairs. Coffey takes the entire way. It's 1-2.
Well, if he's got a good breaking ball, this would be the time to throw it. He showed and elevated his eyesight with that fastball up. If he can go breaking ball here, I think he would get him.
2-2.
He laid off that pitch because it's the same area he threw his last pitch. So the hitter sitting on the eye, focusing on the eye level, the same pitch. So he was able to recognize that out of the zone very quickly.
Bounces in the dirt. Ramirez did a nice job of keeping it in front of him.
Yeah, that thing was destined to the backstop, and he kept that from being a wild pitch right there. You got to tip your cap to your catcher every now and then, because he'll save you. He'll save you that extra base. See how he got on his knees and turned his glove the other way? That's the way you're supposed to do it. That's going to keep the balls in front more times than trying to backhand them. You want to get away from that backhand as much as possible.
Payoff pitch in the dirt.
So another good stop by Ramirez, nonetheless.
And another walk.
Well, this is not what the FTB Elite 55 wants after they are able to get that 1 run up there. They need that shutdown point. They're down 5 now. third inning. They have not figured out a way to stop the NorCal bunch, and they're just going to have to make a play here. They cannot afford another big inning.
Top of the lineup for NorCal, Jimmy McClanahan. 5 walks have been allowed by FTB Sports 55 Elite in the ball game, and that's been a big factor in the 6 runs that the Grizzlies have been able to score. McClanahan walked and came around to score in the second.
The kid they call Slim Jim, you could see why.
1-1.
Let's go.
We've not seen a double play yet today. We badly need a one here.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike to the Grizzlies center fielder.
That was the old backup slider right there.
Austin Mitchell trying to get out of another jam. FTB can ill afford another long inning like they've had to sit through in the field in the first and the second.
So he doesn't have a feel for his fastball, so now he's trying to maybe mix in some off-speed stuff to get the hitters to swing at it. Command has been the issue on both the pitchers here today.
The 3-1. Races away, back-to-back walks, and that loads the bases here in the third.
So now you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. If you're Coach Figueroa, you're thinking right now, well, who might I have that could come in and throw strikes right here? And if the answer is nobody else, you got to think all hopes and dreams are going to hope that Mitchell all of a sudden finds it.
Sam Nowitzki. Mitchell found it there, fires the strike, and that's an important start for him with the bases loaded and nobody out to work ahead. Well, the Grizzlies' second baseman missed outside there, evens the count at 1-1. Bouncing ball, this could be 2. They throw to third, and man, a leaping effort by Dylan Bell just to grab that one before it went out of play, and he tags the bag and gets one out.
Well, you take the out. I'm not sure, why he didn't go to second right there and possibly try a double play, but maybe he thought he just didn't have enough time to complete it. That was a dangerous play, almost threw it away.
7-1. Mascio has singled and came around to score in back-to-back innings now. Alex Williams now who had an RBI an inning ago.
So you're starting to get in that danger zone here. I know it's only the third inning, but you talk about the possibility of the run rule. 8 runs after 5. You got a 6-run lead now at the middle of the order coming up.
Strike called, it's 1-2.
Sit him down, let's go.
Mitchell trying to avoid Alex Williams reaching for the 3rd time in the ball game. Lifts this one fouled on the line. Beautiful complex here, Mansfield, Texas. Big league dreams are on Yankee Stadium. The rain has continued to fall since 8 a.m. And our second national championship game being played here in rainy and wet conditions. And out of everyone today, it seems like it's affected the Sports 55 Elite pitchers the most. That one swung on, driven back deep, and that one's going to hop for a ground rule double.
I don't know if it did or not, to be honest with you. They're not calling it. It has not been called a ground rule double yet. The player was acting as if he wanted it to be a ground rule double. But no sign from the umpire at any time had they ruled it a ground rule double. Right now you have a triple. Now they're going to overrule it and say it's a ground rule double. Okay.
Nevertheless, a great piece of hitting for Alex Williams, who has back-to-back hits.
Yeah, let's not overlook this. Pitch up. And you don't want to pitch this kid up.
And you saw it hit just on the white part of Yankee Stadium, just above the blue fence.
Yeah, hit that guy sitting in the second row out there.
So McClenaghan comes in to score. In back-to-back innings. No, excuse me, Coffey comes in to score in back-to-back innings.
Now another dangerous hitter.
Tate Soderstrom, the 3-run home run. Started off the scoring, an RBI single an inning ago. Trying to add to a 7-run Grizzlies lead.
See, I don't like the nickname Tater Tot for this guy. I know his name is Tate, but this guy does not strike me as a Tater Tot. This is Big Man Tate.
Yeah.
Who this guy is. That's what they should call him.
I agree. I haven't seen any Tater Tot from him today with a
scrap
3-run home run
name.
and an RBI single. And another RBI. This time he's going to pick up 2 more RBIs in the ball game.
See, I'm going to call him Big Man Tate, because that's what he is.
Soderstrom has 6 RBIs in the ball game. He picked up 3 in the first, an RBI in the second, and 2 more right here.
Goes down and gets it, pitch around the knees, nice piece of hitting. He didn't try to do too much with it. Puts a nice swing on it, and this is just a hit fest.
And you're not there yet, but the 8 after 5 starting to play a role, and there is also 12 runs after 4 is another one of the run rules. You're a long way from 15 after 3 here, but if you're FTB Sports 55 Elite, you just got to stop the bleeding.
Well, the problem is you got a pitcher that's having trouble with command, so the hitters now are just sitting on fastballs right down the heart, and when they do get it, they're able to turn on it. So they're not being fooled. They essentially been ahead of all the counts.
The Grizzlies batted 7 in the first, 9 in the second. There's a base hit there for Sean Rooney.
Now, that wasn't a hit and run. What it was a straight steal, and they caught the second baseman coming over to cover the bag. A lot of times you'll say every time you see a guy get a base hit with a runner going, they'll call a hit and run. Well, actually, it was just a straight steal, and just found a hole because the runner was stealing. It opened, created a hole, and boy, everything is working right now for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, they bat 7 in the first, 9 in the second. They batted 8 here in the third at least, with Antonio Costa coming to the plate.
How about this guy? He's the pitcher. He's going, keep it going. Here we go.
Walked an inning ago, struck out in the first.
Got a 9-run lead now.
Costa batting in the 6th hole, coming to the plate for the 3rd time in the ballgame. You know you're going to have a lot of success when you have that.
He's just looking for something here with 1 out. He can elevate or try to stay out of a double play. Have another lead. Have an 11-run, or actually a 10-run lead if that's able to happen. Ramirez guns one down there, just trying to get it out any old way.
They're on the corners with only an out. Low and away, it's 2-2. And that'll make it 11-1.
We've seen a couple of slippages today on the turf. A lot of these pitchers are not used to an all-turf mound. That looks like dirt, but it's not. And his foot slipped, and when you make the move towards first base, you have to throw it over there. You can't hold on to it, so that was an easy ball call. But that allowed run number 11 to score and a 10-run lead.
So it's 11-1 here in the top of the third with a runner on second. Still just an out. The rain continues to fall, and in some form or fashion, there is still time left in this ball game, but there's still time for these young players on FTB for a little bit of a learning experience in this game as well. There's still more baseball to be played this summer.
Well, anytime you're at this age group, it's all about a learning experience. Everything you do at this age group, you better be learning as you play. You learn when you're up in big leads. You learn when, as you said, Bernie, when you're getting beat big time. You're learning about yourself, your game, the game itself, the game of baseball that you can't give up. You keep playing hard, and you'll see leads like this evaporate, and you'll go, how did we do that?
Costa at the plate. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Great stop there by the shortstop, Adams Torres.
That was a great play. That's the best play we've seen defensively today. Adams Torres goes over to his left, leaves his feet, comes up, turns around, spins, and guns a throw right on the money. That was big time. And this is what I'm talking about. Your team's getting beat pretty heavily right here, but you're not giving up. You come out and make a sparkling play like that. Wow.
Then he made it look easy. It was
wow.
by 3 or 4 footsteps.
That gets by. It's 12-1.
The 9th runner of the inning is Justin Bernard. Excuse me, the 9th hitter of the inning. Again, a good call there by our producer-director, Mark Grant. He's ended every inning so far in this contest. He ended the first. He ended the second with a strikeout. And here he is in the third. 2-2. There's a chance to bring in the 12th run of the ball game. Full count.
See, that gives you an idea where he is command-wise. That was supposed to be a fastball in. And right now he's just struggling.
Payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Well, Justin Bernard has ended every inning of the ball game so far, but NorCal tacks on a couple more. They're up by 10 as we head to the bottom of the third here from Mansfield.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add vanishing deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
You SSA members, you could save money on your auto insurance. Call a local Nationwide agent or 1-866-556-SAVE.
You want a shot at the national championship? The 2013 Travel Ball National Championship Series could be your ticket. For more information, go to travelball.com. The road to the national championship starts here.
Back at Big League Dreams in Mansfield, an 11-1, 13 and under national championship game here in the bottom of the third. Sports 55 Elite had James Sapp double to begin the second and came around to score their only run, and that's their only hit so far. 11 runs on 9 hits. And here late in the ball game, there is a 8 after 5 run rule. Here's the NorCal Grizzly fans who have made their way. The umbrellas have been out since early this morning here in Dallas. And overall, the good news is because they're playing here at Big League Dreams, because they're playing on turf, there's an opportunity to contest this national championship game. If it wasn't for that, this would be nothing more than an unfinished, rained-out tournament just because, you know, at the youth level, there just isn't built-in extra rain days. If it rains on Championship Sunday, these guys are flying home all around the country. You can't have a team that's flying back to Northern California stay an extra day cost-wise because of rain.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if that didn't happen. And I just fell in love with this facility when I walked in and I saw the replica ballparks, the Fenway next door and the Yankee Stadium right here. And I just think it's such a thrill for these kids to play in something like this.
Foul back. It remains 0-2. That's one of the big things about Travel Ball Select and their regionals and super regionals and this national championship. That's what it's been all about all season long, trying to give these elite baseball players an elite tournament experience. You know, here you are at 13 years old, getting an opportunity to play on ESPN. Moment you'll always remember, I'm sure, if you're a player getting this opportunity. 0-2 to Bell. Outside, it's 1-2.
Well, no question, they got their work cut out for them here, and you know, you have to just start getting base runners. That's the key to any comeback. You can't sit there and hit a 12-run home run. You have to just work a walk, get a base hit, get on base any way you can, and let the rest of the hitters follow up.
The 2-2 got him swinging. A strikeout to begin the third.
He's going to get in a bite on this breaking ball. Look at the bottom just drop out of that. That is a nice pitch right there because it gives the impression it's just a slow fastball in the outer third, and you're going to go after it, and the bottom falls out.
First strikeout of the ball game for Antonio Costa, and there's one away. Ricardo Diaz at the top of the lineup.
The kid they call RJ.
He flew out to center in his first at bat. Say he's the fastest kid on the team.
And one thing we have not seen today in either game is a guy to try to bunt for a base hit. Now you need base runners. This wouldn't be a bad idea. The third baseman is playing about 2 steps in back of the bag. If you got wheels, a bunt would be perfect here to get on base.
3-1.
See, the one strike, if you got one strike on you, and I probably wouldn't do it 3-1. Probably should actually take a strike here if you're down 10 runs, but the one strike bunt is usually there.
Down the right field line, it falls for a base hit. Diaz gets to second with just the second hit of the ball game for Sports 55 Elite.
Now he was hacking 3-1 and gets a double down the line. Nice piece of hitting. And that's what they need. Now watch, pitches outer third. Finds a home down the line. And just something, just scratch a run here and there. Start getting the momentum back any way you can. This is going to be huge right here if they can get a couple of runs.
Adams Torres fouls the first pitch back and away. He flew out to center in his first plate appearance. It's the second time through the lineup against Costa, and sometimes you learn a little bit the first time through.
Yeah, and that's the adjustment you make. And one of the things they're seeing, he's pitching them away, so maybe you look away if you're a hitter here.
Ripped for a base hit to left. They'll hold Diaz at third because no reason to chance that down by 10, but they're on the corners now with just one out.
And that pitch was smoked. It was a hanging breaking ball, kept his hands back. We've seen Torres now make a great play defensively, a nice piece of hitting offensively.
The starting pitcher in the ball game, Nick O'Day, who walked in his first plate appearance. (1-0). It's 2 balls and no strikes.
You're just looking for a pitch right down the middle now, something you can drive.
Sports 55 Elite has him on the corners with just one away.
2-0 slider right there. I'm not sure that was a good pitch to throw. You just want to challenge. You got the 10-run lead.
3-0. Fouled away, it's 3-1. A walk here would load the bases.
Yeah, that's why you got to sit there and look like it was look like another breaking ball. And
3-1, driven to center field. McClanahan backpedals and it's gone. A home run. A 3-run shot for Nick O'Day. And it's 11-4.
And that's what they needed right there. That was huge. Nick O'Day breathes some life into the ball club right there. And now you say to yourself, well, if we could do this every inning, we can win this thing. A little tilt to it as well. But he saw that pitch 3 pitches in a row, so he's sitting on it. Nice line drive right to straightaway center field. So that's huge.
It's 280 down the line here, 300 to center field, and we've seen 2 really long 3-run home runs in this one. Austin Mitchell, the current pitcher in the ballgame, flew out to right in his first plate appearance. A 3-run third inning. For Nick O'Day, a little bit of redemption after a rough outing.
Absolutely, a little life into the ball club. I mean, you tell your guys, hey, we can do this every inning. We win this thing. Of course, the pressure is going to be to hold the Grizzlies down as well.
Only an out here in the bottom of the third. Dylan Bell struck out to start the inning. After that, 3 consecutive hits, a double, a single, and a 3-run home run by Nick O'Day. Casas falling behind Mitchell. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, a big cut there. He's trying to make it 11-5 with one swing of the bat.
I will say this for these hitters, and it's been pretty impressive. On a gloomy day like this, not easy to pick up a ball.
High hopper to third. Soderstrom, who hit the 3-run home run, tosses over to first, and a nice reach there by Cole Coffey, who made that look routine.
Yeah, he had nice footwork on the back end of that play right there, and that saves an error.
Probably amazed at how much a good first baseman could make the rest of your infield look a lot better as far as their statistics are concerned.
All those years, Keith Hernandez was always the Gold Glover.
James Sapp bouncing ball past a diving Alex Williams. The 4th hit of the inning for FTB. 1 on, 2 outs.
I like the way that kid Sapp swings the bat, don't you?
Yeah.
He hits it where it's pitched. Looks like he has a good stroke, knows hitting.
Jorge Ramirez, the catcher.
This big, strong hitter here, he could lose one. Hit our cameraman, didn't it?
Did. Talk about the danger being right there behind home plate. You're in strike zone here in.
You could see the big crowd behind them. They were oohing and on.
1-1. I guess what are they over on Fenway over there? Just over to the right.
It's a wicked crowd over there.
1-1. Base hit past the diving Sam Nowitzki. They're on the corners. And that one's going to scoot by Soderstrom. And it gets out of play. And it's 11-5. And Ramirez is going to wind up at third after the ball goes out of play.
This ball's hit to right field. Actually, center fielder picks it up. There's nobody set up as a cutoff guy.
Bouncing ball, base hit again. Everett Hurst brings in Ramirez. And look at this inning for FTB Sports 55 Elite. It was 11-1 when we started. It's now 11-6. And the Grizzlies trying to regroup.
What a great comeback. I mean, this is a team that didn't worry about the score. They're just going out there playing hard. And they have done a great job with a 5-run inning. They got hit with a 6, they put up a 5.
Be tough, Juan. Be tough. Let's go.
And Nate Cox is the 8th hitter of the inning for FTB Sports 55 Elite.
Let's go.
That's how the NorCal Grizzlies have done it. 7 batted in the first, 9 in the second, and 9 in the third. A long inning for Sports 55 Elite, and they'll try to continue here with 2 outs and a runner on first. Now backing away, it's 0-2.
Be tough, kid. Be tough.
Yeah, they're right back in this ball game. There's no question about it. When they were left for dead after the big inning by the Grizzlies, and this 5-run inning has been huge, and a lot of it with 2 outs.
Costa with a chance for a second strikeout of the inning. That one down and outside. It's 1-2.
Be tough, kid.
Opposite way, but foul. Good stop by Mascio there in the dirt. And Everett Hurst slides back in safely.
Stay tough, Juan. Stay tough.
See the play right here. He's got to slide his body over a little more.
Bouncing ball deflected. And it's another hit, and you can sense the frustration for the NorCal Grizzlies, who seemingly were already maybe getting their rings sized here when we started the bottom of the third, but
see the ball right here. Just hit him right off his glove. And they're going to make the change.
We'll tell you about the new Grizzlies pitcher when we come back to Big League Dreams. It's a whole new ball game, 11-6.
USSSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world. Headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida, USSSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, USSSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSSA.
At 10 years old, Bryce Harper's father's best advice was,
"Son, you just gotta swing away."
And swing away he did. Setting records in every age group he played. And now at Major League All-Star as a rookie, as well as 2012 Rookie of the Year honors.
I've been using swing weight since I was a kid, and I still use it as a pro.
Introducing the Bryce Harper MVP Edition. On sale for just $199 on swingaway.com. And now on sale at the Sports Authority or swingaway.com.
NorCal Grizzlies going to bring on a side armor. Tate Soderstrom had the 3-run home run, and his favorite player is, nonetheless, Bryce Harper.
Yes.
Just got to swing away, son.
Yeah, well, he's been swinging away today. Let's see if he could pitch him away right here, if that's what they need, because they're attacking everything.
Let's be a hitter, kid. Let's go.
9 have come to the plate for FTB Sports 55 Elite here in the bottom of the third. Nate Soderstrom at the plate. This one line to left, there's a hit. It's 11-7. Throw to third, not in time, and everything's working here this inning for Sports 55 Elite.
That's it, 5-5, let's go!
Pedro Figueroa with an RBI single.
Nice Nice job. Attack Soderstrom right out of the chute. Base hit to left field, and now this is crazy to say, but the potential tie run is on deck. How about that? How fast did that happen?
It's amazing. If you're just joining us, I think we may have had an audience that left us early when it was 11-1. That's a television VP's nightmare to start off a championship game 11-1. There's another base hit out to left, make it 11-8. Dylan Bell gets a single.
Well, they brought in Soderstrom, and he can't figure him out, and it's just nonstop. Great comeback. You asked me earlier, you said, as you watch him inside out in this pitch right here. Nice piece of swinging, nice adjustment on that pitch that was running in on his hands. What do these kids take from these games, learning? Well, they're learning that you're never out of it.
Pitch inside to Diaz. And this is a major momentum change. We talk about a game of momentum, and the pressure is falling squarely now on the NorCal Grizzlies. As I mentioned before the pitching change, they may have been getting the ring sizing kit out on their dugout when we started this inning, up 11-8. We were talking about run rules, 15 after 3, 12 after 4, 8 after 5. They had to bring the ring sizing kit back up here to the broadcast booth. Two on, two out. 7 in the inning, and Diaz is hit by pitch, and that will load the bases. And get this, FTB Sports 55 Elite was down by 10, and the go-ahead run is coming to the plate.
I can tell you about ring sizing. It's an interesting fact. Your ring size is usually very similar to your hat size.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. I've been fortunate enough to win enough championship rings to where I actually know that it's very similar to your hat size. I don't know why that is.
That makes it easier, right?
You know, it's usually somewhere in that vicinity.
Torres singled and scored in this inning. A 7-run inning for FTB Sports 55 Elite.
How about this? Tying run at first base.
On the infield. The throw over to first in time. That retires the side. But what an inning for FTB Sports 55 Elite. 3 innings in the books, and it's a whole new ball game here from Mansfield. What was a 10-run advantage is down to 3.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
Well, it's a whole new ball game. 19 hits combined between these two teams. And Sports 55 Elite had just 1 hit prior to that 3rd inning.
It was so much different than the first game we had, where there wasn't a whole lot of hits combined.
So 9 hits helped push across 7 runs. And now you talk about a shutdown inning.
Oh.
If you ever needed one, this is the one you need.
Yeah, you don't want to come back and give up a 5 or 6 run or even a 3-run inning. But it probably wouldn't phase the Sports Elite 55 group either, because they just came back from a 10-run deficit and crawled within 3.
Well, Matt Mascio has started off the 2nd, the 3rd, and he starts off the 4th.
Now the key here is going to be, we're going to see a different Mitchell here, because his command has been like a roller coaster. He's got to dial in here and make this a quick inning.
Nasio 2 for 2 going up against Austin Mitchell, who came in relief of Nick O'Day. Down on strikes. Strikeout number 4 of the ball game.
Now, we were talking about the reaction to home plate umpire on strike 3. Now, here's your punch out. Watch this. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. You look.
Punch for the pitcher and for the umpire.
Yeah.
It's ESPN. You got to bring your A game.
Well, he has it.
Cole Coffey at the plate in the 9-hole.
Be careful not to pull a muscle doing that, though. Really letting that thing go.
Stretching for the players and for the umpires before the game, right?
You better believe it.
Stepping outside 2-0. Cole Coffey, RBI single in the second. Walked and scored in the third. 2-0. Knocked down by Mitchell, and he'll toss it over to first. And it's the first time today that FTB Sports 55 Elite has retired the first 2 they faced. 1-3 in your scorebook, and we go back to the top of the lineup in Jimmy McClenaghan.
This is a completely different Austin Mitchell here this inning. He's getting the ball going. There's no one on base, no reason for him to slow down. Look, he just gets it and goes.
This one ripped into left field. And McClenaghan is on for the 3rd time in the ball game, but that will go in the scorebook as his first hit in this national championship game.
Slim Jim, base hit. His first of the game, coupled with a couple of walks, and that's okay as long as Austin Mitchell says, I can give him 1 hit. I just don't want to give him some runs here. Now the rough part of the order has been so far just been dominant. That's when you get into Williams and Soderstrom. Those 2 are lurking. You got to get this out here. You don't want Williams and Soderstrom coming up with men on base.
Sam Nowitzki. Lots of offense in this ball game. Sports 55 Elite trying to force just the second 0 to be placed in an inning tally.
3-0 with those 2 guys on deck. I got to think you're taking here, right?
Yeah. And he takes up high, and there's 2 on.
This is not what you wanted after the 2 quick outs. A base hit and a walk, and here comes trouble.
Alex Williams and Tate Soderstrom. Williams walked and scored in the first. RBI single in the second. Double for an RBI in the third, and he came around to score.
Big at bat in this ball game.
Nice 0-2. Well, big out here because you wouldn't want to get to Tate Soderstrom, who has 6 RBIs in the ball game with a couple ducks on the pond.
Yeah, you see the catcher reach over. That was supposed to be a fastball up over the hands. Got it inside. Luckily, he just fouled it off. Because that pitch was supposed to be just a waste pitch up the ladder. See if they come back to that breaking pitch out or third like they did a couple pitches ago. A little backdoor breaker.
0-2, bouncing ball to second. Sapp over to first. And for just the second time in the ball game, a 0 put on the scoreboard. The first time the Grizzlies have been blanked. Sports 55 Elite trying to mount the comeback, trailing by just 3 now.
We use the new Raleigh's bat with the DB Core Standard. It's the bat that the players want to use. They got to have great balance. They got to have the feel, the handle, the grip, the performance of the bat, and how far they can hit a ball and how hard they can hit a ball. And Rawlings has hit the mark in all those areas. The players felt that Rawlings was a step ahead of the class. Rawlings made a commitment to get their aluminum bat at the top of the charts in college baseball. Now that's where they are right now.
You want to play for the ring? You want to play on ESPN? Go to TravelBallSelect.com for information on the 2013 state championships in California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Look out for additional states coming your way in 2014.
Well, we told you at the beginning it was going to be a great ball game.
We didn't lie.
We weren't so sure when it was 11-1 in the bottom of the third, but FTB Sports 55 Elite has made us true to our word.
Nobody loves a great comeback more than you do, Bernie.
That's what it's all about.
And that's what we've seen so far. And this game is far from over. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. And what a great job of battling back by the FTB Sports Florida, the Sports Elite 55 group. They have done a great job. Left for dead, down 11-1. Now it's 11-8. They shut down the Grizzlies in the top of the fourth, and now they got a shot to go after them here and possibly tie and go ahead in the bottom of the fourth. What a great comeback, where they were somehow able to pull this thing off.
Here's Nick O'Day. He really gave him a spark an inning ago with a 3-run home run.
And that was one where you thought, okay, all right, they're making some noise, but still have a long way to go. It was after O'Day's home run. A lot of people think that home runs are rally killers because now there's nobody left on base. You're kind of starting over again, and that's where this team really showed what they were made of, because they started bunching hits right after that.
Soder's from the sidearmer hits him. And FTB has their first base runner here in the fourth. A leadoff hit by pitch, and Nick O'Day is aboard for the third time in the ball game.
Well, it's just an inning ago. After the home run, Mitchell made it out, and it was guys like Sapp, Ramirez, Hurst, Cox, Figueroa, all those guys got base hits.
Down and inside to Austin Mitchell. Mitchell's 0 for 2 in the ball game.
Let's go! Let's go!
You talk about the fact that Mitchell throughout his young career has played a lot of big-time games. None probably bigger than this one. This is a big at-bat for him.
He's the only one on FTB Sports 55 Elite who's yet to get a hit in the ball game, despite the fact that he is the cleanup hitter.
Trying a way to join the party right here, trying to find a way to get something going.
1-2. Bouncing ball. And on a high hop, Nowitzki tosses it over to first to get out number 1. No chance to get Nick O'Day there. That one just rocketed off the AstroTurf.
Yeah, get a little high top chopper, and what happens is, as a result, you get a productive out. So there he is down at second base in scoring position as O'Day. They don't need to take the lead here, but if they can scratch away a run, that's all you need right here. Funny, the runner at second base, his name is O'Day, but the pitcher for the Grizzlies, he has the windup of Darren O'Day at the big leagues.
What do you think about that at this age, doing the sidearm?
Well, it's great. It's not taxing on your arm at all. I think it's great for young kids to do a sidearm delivery. A lot less stress. Throw a little more often, let the ball run for you. You don't have to worry about big curve balls or anything like that. I think it's great.
That one got away from him, and O'Day heads the third.
Just one run. If they can score one here, just chip away, get within 2 runs, that would be awesome. To where you were an inning ago, This has been amazing. And I like the way this kid swings. Sapp has a nice swing right here. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't somehow figure out a way of getting him in.
He's 2 for 2, a double, an RBI single.
Look at the hands there. I like the nice approach that he has. He makes little circles with his hands. It's a lot easier to hit when you have your hands in motion. And when he gets into a set position, he's nice and balanced. Watch the hands. He gets a little movement in the hands. It's easy to get them going back. I like it. Good stuff.
3-1, bouncing ball to short. Williams over to first.
Mistake.
That's a nice dig there by Coffey.
But a base running mistake was made right there. That runner should have scored. That's exactly what Sapp needed to do. They were playing deep. They were giving him the run, and Sapp got the ground ball, but the runner, O'Day, got stuck at third. He just didn't take off. That was a base running mistake. And you're hoping, down the line, that's not a big play if you're the Sports 55 elite. And they're just going to go ahead and put Ramirez on with that runner at third base, dangerous hitter.
So an intentional walk. Ramirez goes to first. Everett Hurst has had a big day as well. Walk and an RBI single. He scored a run an inning ago. And with the walk, the tying run comes to the plate once again for FTB Sports 55 Elite. And the dirt, that one gets away from Mascio. And in comes O'Day. Despite that base running error, it doesn't come back to bite Sports 55 Elite. Ramirez goes to second, and it's 11-9.
Yep, and then there was the base running blunder. You don't have to worry about it. He gets reprieved right there. And these catchers, the ball, it's tough to corral them. But the older they get, the more they're going to have to get out there and slide out there sooner. It's easy to say that from a spectator standpoint, but that's what they're going to have to learn as catchers. They're just going to have to get those bodies out there quicker and stay in front of those balls. Those are tough to block, but the great ones, they get out there and block everything.
Hurst takes it high. It's 2-0. This is a slow roller. This is going to test Costa. He throws it across. Got him in time. Great comeback there by the third baseman. He had to hurry. He makes the play to retire the side. But Nick O'Day, hit by a pitch, comes on in to make it a 2-run ball game now.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear. But we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add vanishing deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
You SSSA members, you could save money on your auto insurance. Call a local Nationwide agent or 1-866-556-SAVE.
You want a shot at the national championship? The 2013 Travel Ball National Championship Series could be your ticket. For more information, go to travelball.com. The road to the national championship starts here.
Well, it's been quite a ball game here. NorCal at one point, if you can believe it, led 11-1. But FTB Sports 55 Elite has pulled within 2. And now you start to maybe feel some of the pressure if you're the Grizzlies, because you had that big lead. Despite the fact that you're up by 2, when you were blanked an inning ago, you had the feeling, as hot as the bats have been for Sports 55 Elite, you got to probably start to score some runs here if you're going to win this national championship.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like the hunted right now if you're the Grizzlies. So this is something you want to alleviate. You got to put some tack on runs here, and there's an opportunity for another shutdown inning for FTB Sports Elite 55. It's would be outstanding for them if they can get another 0 up there. They've crawled within 2, which seemed not too long ago almost an impossible task.
Well, this is where you want to be with Tate Soderstrom starting things off. 6 RBIs already in the ball game.
Yeah, but you love to have him leading off if you're the opposition.
Yeah. I guess he could get another RBI and pick up his second home run.
It's not going to hurt as bad as the last few at-bats.
3-run home run in the first, RBI single in the second, and a 2 RBI single in the third. It's a ball and a strike.
Soderstrom not happy with that call. Walks out of the box.
Bouncing ball, base hit back up the middle. Well, how about that day? 4 for 4, and we're only in the top of the 5th.
He's upset because he didn't hit it hard. Found the home, though. Gotta take it.
The leadoff hitter is aboard for the 3rd time in the ball game for NorCal.
Actually, that was a good pitch. It actually got in on him and was able to fight it off and get it up the middle.
Here's Sean Rooney. Down and outside, 1-0. Rooney walked in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd, and singled in the 3rd. Takes the strike, it's 1-1.
Let's go.
If they start their runner here, maybe wait till it's 3-1.
Tate Soderstrom on first, holds, pitches low, and they'll go to 3-1.
Yeah, this might be a time you start your runner here.
Rooney at the plate. They call him an all-around utility player that can play every spot on the field. They're looking for him to get a hit here. He takes the entire way, breaking ball, and the count is full.
Good pitch to run on here, 3-2.
Soderstrom on first. He led off the inning with a single. Runner going, bouncing ball under the glove of Bell. There's a base hit. Soderstrom is going to hold at second as it got quickly out to left field to Diaz. But back-to-back singles has the Grizzlies threatening here in the top of the 5th.
Runner gets a big jump. There's a ball tailing back into the hitter.
Let's go.
Rudy puts a good swing on it, and Grizzlies back in business offensively. They've only had one down inning.
Yeah, only 1-0 thrown up by NorCal Grizzlies in the ball game. That was an inning ago. They're in business here in the top of the 5th. It's starting to become a big, high-scoring affair. There's still plenty of time left in this ball game. They play all the way to the 7th in the 13 and under division. Base hit to center. Cox will field it. Soderstrom will hold at third, and the bases are loaded, nobody out. Soderstrom at third, Rooney at second, Costa at first. And Justin Bernard, who we mentioned has ended every inning but the 4th, coming to the plate.
They're just getting their defensive alignment.
And as opposed to Justin Bernard, they're going to bring Justice Nagari to the plate to hit. That one gets away from the catcher. Soderstrom's going to come in to score. It's 12-9.
Ooh, that was closer than it appeared originally. That is almost a nice play to get Soderstrom coming in to score, but scores nonetheless. Turned his glove wrong. Boy, a throw right there. They may have had him.
So this is Justice Naragi. Nobody out. And they're out to talk to Austin Mitchell. Starting to look like the first, second, and the third. But the Grizzlies batted 7 in the first, 9 in the second, and 9 in the third.
Well, I mean, it's crunch time here. I mean, you got to figure out how to get out of this inning. You don't want to sit there. You can't keep crawling back. I mean, I know it's obviously possible, but you don't want to get yourself in a position where it's every inning you're down to yourself to put pressure to get 3-4 runs coming back. So Justice Naragi is in the bat for Justin Bernard. And, yeah, it's funny. We have not seen a bunt here today. Any kind of safety squeeze or sacrifice. We haven't seen anybody employ one of those.
Naragi, a fan of Prince Fielder. An opportunity to pick up 2 more Grizzlies runs here. It's 3-0.
I wonder how many more pitches he's got left in him. He's throwing a lot today.
And a walk loads the bases.
Yeah, and once you turn over the lineup on this ball club, they become very, very dangerous, and now we're going to have the pitch and change.
It appears that Ramirez is going to come into pitch because the catcher headed to the dugout. We're going to take a break here from Mansfield. It's been a battle all game long. The Grizzlies, though, threatening once again, leading by 3 with the bases loaded.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add vanishing deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
You SSSA members, you could save money on your auto insurance. Call a local Nationwide agent or 1-866-556-SAVE.
You want a shot at the national championship? The 2013 Travel Ball National Championship Series could be your ticket. For more information, go to travelball.com. The road to the national championship starts here.
Well, it has been an offensive explosion opposed to what started out as a pitcher's duel in our 11 and under national championship game. The bats have been hot. And for NorCal Grizzlies, just about everybody up has had great success today, up and down the lineup.
Yeah, and it's not one of those where it's sloppy and guys are making errors. There have been a number of walks, but for the most part, we've seen some good swings, put on a couple of home runs, and it's a nice job by Sports 55 coming back. But the Grizzlies have switched that momentum back around here in the top of the 5th inning, and Ramirez on to try to put the kibosh on this big uprising here in the 5th, and he's got to have a tall order because it's going to be key that he gets the 8 and 9 hitter, because once you turn into the top of the lineup there, it becomes very, very difficult.
Well, the battery is swapped. Jorge Ramirez goes out to pitch. Austin Mitchell will catch behind home plate. Probably helps you out to have a pitcher catch and a catcher pitch, just in calling the pitches and understanding the fundamentals of the game.
Well, at least they'll know how to attack these hitters, but they have not been that successful today against the Grizzly hitters because they've been up to the challenge.
Well, Nick O'Day and Austin Mitchell have both struggled with their control in the ball game, so the hope is that they may get something different out of Ramirez.
Yeah, they just need a guy that's going to go up there and get ahead in counts, and that's something they haven't had all day. But you look at the bases loaded, you look at nobody out, and it just screams of another big inning for the Grizzlies. But let's see if Ramirez here can turn the tide, and they're going to need to do that. They're just this Grizzlies club is just too potent offensively, and you keep walking guys and wild pitches. They're just, I don't care how many runs you put up, they just seem like they're going to put up one more than you when it's all said and done. So they've got to figure out a way. Somebody has got to shut the door offensively or on the mound for the Elite 55 crew.
Matt Mascio, he started off the second and the third, singling and scoring. He struck out inning ago in the fourth. He comes to the plate with the bases loaded and not a good start as Ramirez misses the plate on his first pitch. It's 1-0.
Yeah, you got to get 8 and 9 in the lineup here. You got to get these guys because 1 through 4 are very tough.
Bouncing ball, nice grab there by Bell. He comes home. They toss to first, and it's over the head of O'Day. And the air is going to allow the Grizzlies to score once again. Great idea. But a frustrated Austin Mitchell who tossed it over the head of Nick O'Day at first.
Yeah, you get the force right here, and what happens is he doesn't necessarily clear himself, and he doesn't have a nice path to throw to first base, and then tries to throw it over the runner. If you break to the inside, you don't have to worry about throwing it over the runner. He didn't do that right there. You have to just get out in the grass part of the infield. Of course, the green part we'll call it here, and clear yourself so where you can make a better angle on the throw to first. Once you try to start throwing it over the runner, those things happen.
So Rooney was out at first. Costa came in to throw on the air. And there's runners at second and third as Cole Coffey comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI, and he scored twice because he walked in the third and came around to score. And you got to get it out here, as you mentioned, before you go back to the top of the lineup, where the Grizzlies have had all sorts of success today. Down and outside, 1 and 2.
They're playing the infield in here with 1 out.
Popped up and fouled back.
When you're just looking for a pitch you can elevate.
Two in scoring position with just 1 out. And that one's going to skip by.
It's actually a good job of not trying to score. When it's all said and done, you say, yeah, you probably would have. But that thing kicked back so quick, it wasn't a good read that a base runner's going to get on that. So it actually was pretty good that he did not come back, because you don't know, once it gets back to that concrete and it bounces back real quick, if he would have taken off and gone right to the catcher, he would have been out by about 10 feet. So I think it was a good read, especially with 1 out.
2-2. Got him swinging, 2 away. That's a huge out there. As Ramirez picks up his first strikeout of the ball game.
Well, 12-6 breaking ball. Cools down hot coffee.
Jimmy McClanahan. It's been hard to cool down these Grizzlies today. Just about everybody has been on fire. They pushed across 13 runs, and they got 2 more in scoring position.
When he gets on top of that breaking ball, he's got a nice 12-6 curveball. Didn't get on top of that last one.
McClanahan has gotten aboard 3 times. He's walked twice and singled, and that one's going to get by the catcher Mitchell. And in comes run number 14.
So you try, when there's 2 outs, you go ahead and try. See, being patient the last time pays off. But with 2 outs, you definitely want to do it. See, that's another case of a pitch where the catcher just had a little trouble knowing which way to turn his glove. And when he tried to backhand it, it kicked off the glove. Sometimes you got to slide over and let that just bounce and hit you in the chest, as bad as that seems. So that's what that chest protector's for. You got to use it. That's why they're called the tools of ignorance. It takes a tough kid to be back there getting balls bounced off you all day long.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the dirt. That'll make the count full.
I love playing catcher. I was a catcher all through high school, and I just love that part of the game because you feel like you can control the game. You're calling the pitches. You're moving people around defensively. You're just in a nice flow of it all. And, yeah, you get beat up.
3-2, bouncing ball, and Bell got a glove on it. But McClenaghan's going to get aboard for the 4th time in the ball game as Mascio comes in to score to make it 15-9.
I don't know how you score this. It can go either way. It's a hanging breaking ball. Yeah, that's got to be an error.
2 out. Let's go.
So E5. And here's Sam Nowitzki. And you're back to the danger zone again. You went to being able to pull right back into the ball game. Yeah. And now NorCal's back up by 6.
Yeah, and there's an 8-run rule.
Yeah.
And you got, if Nowitzki gets on, now you got to deal with Williams and Soderstrom, 2 of the hottest hitters in this tournament.
And you talk about the change in momentum.
Yeah.
NorCal had huge momentum. They're up 11-1.
And lost it all.
They lost it all. Now and it's got to be, in some ways, this is the type of inning, and I'm not saying that FTB Sports 55 Elite can't come back here, but this is one of those back-breaking innings, isn't it?
It is. Well, we know they can come back because we've seen it, and they have to have a short memory, and they're going to have to come back. But you don't want to have to keep on doing it. And hats off to the Grizzlies because the NorCal group, they've done a nice job. They took the punch, the counter punch, and then they're punching right back.
3-2, runner going with 2 outs, and there's 2 aboard. And Alex Williams is going to be the 9th hitter of this inning. They batted 7 in the first, 9 in the second, 9 in the third, and 9 here in the 5th. And the very dangerous shortstop has had a heck of a day at the plate as well. 2 for 3, single, double, 2 RBIs. It's the day you like to look at the scorecard when you're all done.
Now they're holding the runner on at first base. I don't personally agree with that, especially with a left-handed hitter up. I think you back your first baseman up and give him some range with that left-handed hitter up. I'd take my first baseman and put him as deep as I could defensively. You don't have to worry about. I mean, that's something you just don't see, holding on runners with first and second. You hold the runner on first base.
I mean, the runner at first is the potential national championship winning run, but essentially with a runner on second, if a double steal goes on, you're probably throwing down to third anyways, aren't you?
I would think in this situation with the left-handed hitter Soderstrom who could pull a ball, you just give yourself a little bit more range. I'm sorry, with Williams, I'm sorry, he's such a dangerous hitter that you give yourself some range on the left. But you know, like you said, that could be the potential game-winning run, and it may be the reason why they're keeping him close.
But Soderstrom, who you mentioned, is on deck, and the only time he hasn't picked up an RBI in the ball game was an inning ago, and that's because he let off the inning. He's got 6 runs batted in the ball game.
And there he is. That's trouble.
He started things off with a bang with a 3-run home run back in the first. Loosening up the weapon, and he's going to come to the plate with the bases loaded. Back-to-back walks given up by Ramirez.
Big man Tate.
Do what you do.
And in some ways, the potential national championship winning run now is on second. Almost excuse me swing there.
Yeah, he was fooled on that one. He doesn't look too worried, though. Hey, when you're going that good, nothing worries you. Like, oh, big deal. Down a strike. back of the box.
Bouncing ball, base hit. The throw to the plate is going to be cut off, and they'll load the bases. It's a 7-run Grizzlies lead. And speaking of 7 runs, that's the 7th RBI for Soderstrom in this ball game.
Pitch in on the hands, inside out swing. Fights it off, gets it to the opposite field. Some guys don't get that many knocked in a month.
McClanahan comes in to score. And that's a huge run right there, because they are up by 8 now in the top of the 5th. Sam Nowitzki makes it 17-9. Sean Rooney at the plate. 2 in scoring position. And that one airmail to the backstop. Well, they were hoping that Ramirez was going to change the luck of Nick O'Day and Austin Mitchell.
Yeah, so far he hasn't done it. And you know, you feel for some of these pitchers because it's been wet all day. It's been slick. And I think we're seeing it way more so in this ball game than we did the first. We're seeing a lot more long pitches as a result.
2-0, outside corner for a called strike. But again, we talked about travel ball, national championships, this great ballpark here. And if it wasn't for being at Big League Dreams and the turf, we wouldn't even play these games. And that's the positive about playing in a facility like this.
Yeah, and there's no advantage to either side. They both have played through the steady drizzle the entire game, and it's picked up now.
3-1. Inside, bases are loaded. The 4th walk given up this inning by Ramirez. And Antonio Costa, who started off the ball game as the pitcher, comes to the plate. Bases loaded once again.
Well, now it's almost like you're trying to tack on with 2 outs.
It's almost like you're looking for some insurance.
To that magic lead, right, exactly. Yeah. But you're talking about, it's like you're trying to tack on to a 1-run lead. It's the equivalent of, because you could end this game 2 innings sooner.
The ring sizing kit moving back to the dugout, but all they needed to do is take their hats off, apparently.
They had to take the ring size guy and get them back indoors.
2-2. Ramirez could desperately use a strikeout to bring us to the bottom of the 5th, where Sports 55 Elite will try to rally. Down on strikes, I believe.
It was strike 3, but it got away, and you got to make the play, whether it be at first or home, and too late to get him at home, and another run scores.
That's a backbreaker there. Drop 3rd strike. Puts a runner aboard. The 2nd strikeout of the ball game for Ramirez.
And that's the last you want to do is try to get 4 outs against this crew.
12 batters with that strikeout reaching, and this is the 13th batter of the inning for the Grizzlies.
Justice Naragi, favorite player, Prince Fielder.
Naragi hitting with the bases loaded, takes one inside. He walked in his first plate appearance here in the 5th.
I like, a lot of these guys, they like their favorite players, these big home run hitters.
Gotta love that.
Yeah.
It's all about swinging a big bat.
Well, didn't Prince Fielder, wasn't he part of the FTV
yeah, he
Sports
was.
League 55 program? There you go.
That's if you're watching around the country, that's the caliber player that you're seeing today. Without a doubt, some of these guys are going to be making some waves at the NCAA level, at the MLB level. Meanwhile, NorCal, the Grizzlies, they're 3 outs away from a national championship.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
Middle of the 5th. This is a wild game if you're just joining us for this 13 and under Travel Ball Select National Championships. At one point, NorCal led 11-1. Sports 55 Elite came back to make it a 2-run ball game, and then the Grizzlies have extended it, and they have a little bit of a cushion because there is a run rule, 8 after 5, and that's where we find ourselves here on the bottom of the 5th. It's 18-9, so a 9-run advantage for the NorCal Grizzlies. 3 outs away from a national championship, and A-Dub, Alex Williams, 6'1" at just 13 years old, is going to come in, the lefty out of Castro Valley, California. An Oakland A's fan trying to close off this national championship.
A-Dub. Favorite player, Josh Donaldson.
You gotta love the resilience today for the NorCal Grizzlies. It's all about the punches and the counter punches,
yep.
But and certainly I'm not saying that we won't see another punch back here from FTB Sports 55 Elite, but potentially the top of the 5th was the knockout punch.
Potentially, yes. They got to figure out a way to keep this thing and get a couple of runs to extend this ball game.
Nate Cox, center fielder, will start off action here in the bottom of the 5th.
And they need 2 runs to keep this game going.
That may be one of them. Back, deep, and gone.
There you go.
Nate Cox, his second hit of the ball game. And it is now an 8-run NorCal Grizzlies lead. And lots of smiles there in the dugout for FTB Sports 55 Elite, because now you start to believe that he can at least extend this ball game, especially after he had that big inning earlier on.
Boy, he takes a pitch up and just, there it goes.
That one almost left Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
You hit that one? You see that one very at the top?
Almost hit the subways.
Let's go. There you go.
Line drive base hit out to right field for Pedro Figueroa. And he's out at first.
Well, that's why I hate sliding into first, because that really, it slows you down, number one, and umpires have a tendency of ringing you up. Now watch this. This is a good throw. But that slide slows you down. It just does. If it did not slow you down on a straight line run, then the end of a 100-meter dash in the Olympics would be 8 guys head first sliding across the finish line. And I still, well, right? That'd be my favorite event if that was the case. I wouldn't wait to, hey, wait a minute, the 100-meter, you're going to watch 8 guys sliding that? No, but you don't see it.
Could you imagine Usain Bolt may have to come up with something other than the lightning bolt?
That's right. Now watch this end of this play right here. It definitely slows you down. And it's always a late decision. And the tendency for an umpire, if you slide into first, is to call you out anyway. So why bring that into the equation?
Well, that's why the advantage outside of any base on the baseball field is that you're allowed to cross first and make a right-handed turn.
There you go. And the only reason you have to slide is the other bases you have to keep part of your body on it.
Down the line, that's a fair ball. Dylan Bell picks up his second hit of the ball game, and he's going to cruise into second. And that's a very important run for FTB Sports 55 Elite.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that run would keep this game going. Another pitch up, hands back, nice swing. Well, Coach Figueroa's got to be happy with the way his club is swinging the bat today.
And no matter what the result, I think you got to be happy with the resiliency that your ball club has shown.
Well, question. And the way this game's going, they probably figure out a way to get this run in from second base if they can.
Ricardo Diaz. Well, that's going to help. The run that will bring us to the 6th inning moves to 3rd.
And now, do you bring your infield in? See, this is very interesting when you get into these scenarios. Because that run, if you cut it off, you win the game in 5 innings. But it looks to me like they're just playing, they're letting them have the run.
They're going to get it nevertheless. Base hit there for Diaz. The 2nd run of the inning comes in, an RBI single. And Dylan Bell makes it 18-11. A real slugfest here.
Come on, 2-4. Be a hitter, kid.
And maybe we see the same kind of comeback here.
Torres popped up.
And you really have to give it to these kids. They've done a nice job. I mean, adverse conditions, playing through the rain, which is actually, some kids think it's a lot of fun. The umpires, they don't get to go in the dugout either, so you got to tip your cap to those guys. They're out there wearing the rain the entire game.
Check the runner back, and Diaz slides in easily. Adams Torres, we saw him make a brilliant defensive play earlier.
Play of the day, I think, defensively that we've seen.
Be tough up there, kid.
Uh-oh.
Runner moves to 2nd.
That one just left the hand. In the rain, I think it's really starting to bother these guys. It's picked up. It's actually the skies have gotten a lot darker. It's amazing. If you look at the skies, it's amazing it's not raining harder. And that gets him.
Hit by pitch. 2 on, 1 out.
The 1 out thing, that's got to be a little unnerving for the NorCal Grizzlies, because this inning could turn in one of those 5-6 run innings. And the next thing you know, you're looking at an 18-17, 18-16 game with 2 innings to go.
Because you still have to go through the heart of the lineup, and Nick O'Day, who had a 3-run home run. Hit by pitch. He's been aboard every time he's come to the plate. Austin Mitchell's 0 for 3, but you know he has a dangerous bat and the cleanup hole.
And the FTV Sports 55 Elite team is going, well, why not? Why not get a 5-6 run? We've done it before. Let's have another big inning. We'll crawl back into this thing.
2-0. Oh, back deep, and see you later.
That was off the facade at Yankee Stadium. Mickey Mantle was the last one to do that. That thing was hammered.
That's the 2nd 3-run home run hit by Nick O'Day in the ball game. And from the game nearly being over, it's back to a 4-run contest.
He's saying to Soderstrom, he's saying, hey, wait a minute, I got 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, but I got 2 bombs. Nick O'Day, look at, whoa. There were oohs and ahs in the crowd. Watch this thing. It's off the facade. Nobody moved. See that crowd out there? They were stunned.
They must have been NorCal fans.
My goodness. And here we go. It's a 4-run game. Gotta love this.
You've seen it. That's all he's got. Pick it out. Let's go, 2-1.
Like a battle royale here.
That ring size guy is going to wear a path out there because he's back out of here. Back out in the parking lot.
Opposite field to right. And it's going to fall, and Austin Mitchell gets aboard for the first time in the ball game. Well, this inning started off, you talk about a hit that sets the tone. Nate Cox, his solo home run, I think really helped the team believe that there was a chance because he got one of the two you desperately needed. They needed 3 just to extend the inning.
They need 3 just to extend the inning. And now what's going on here is a scenario where, I dare say it, the tying run is in the hole. He's not on deck yet, but he's in the hole.
And James Sapp, who is 2 for 3, takes an off-speed pitch there, and that evens the count at 1-1.
Kind of love these 5-run innings.
Wow.
Yeah, and again, this is going to happen more and more as the rain is picking up and balls are slick.
All right, Jet. Come on, James. Be here, kid.
It's hard to throw any pitch in the rain when it's like this. It's your breaking ball, your fastball. You're probably better off just throwing a fastball in this.
2-1.
As you could see, that looked like it was going to be a breaking ball. It just slipped out of the hands because you have a little more, you had more action with your hands and your fingertips on the breaking ball than you do on the fastball. So therefore, if it's slick, it just doesn't come into play as good.
They're rolling that one to the dugout to see if they can dry it off and get them a dry ball.
Well, they shouldn't roll it then. They should toss it. But that has been the problem, really. The baseball's slick.
3-1, bouncing ball, deflected by the first baseman. The play to first, they tried to slide in. He gets in safely, and it scores a run, and it's 18-15. James Sapp with his 3rd hit of the ball game, and he gets his 2nd RBI of this contest.
I like watching that kid play. He's a player, this Sapp kid. He plays hard.
Coffey got a handle on it, and Nowitzki nearly made the play.
Again, I hate the slide at first, though. That's the only thing. You can. It's always a late decision, and you can get hurt doing it.
The current Sports 55 Elite pitcher, Jorge Ramirez. They intentionally walked him his last time up. Missed outside. 1-1. It's a wild, wild game.
Tie and run on deck. Can you believe it?
One gets away. Sapp goes to second, and they threw it into center field.
Yeah, I mean, hold on to the ball as much as you can, if you can, with the ball being this wet would be the rule here. If you don't need to make an unnecessary throw, please just put it in your pocket, call timeout, walk it out to the mound.
A chance to get back within 2. Gets away, and Sapp's going to come in to score. And you see with throwing that wet ball around the ballpark, turns in to making this a 2-run ball game. So a 9-run deficit is down to just 2. And this is where the comeback stalled for FTB Sports 55 Elite the last time.
And you can't fault their offense for that, because you can say, well, 5 runs and then we stall, 6 runs and then we stall. But still, the question is going to be at the back end of this thing, unless they go on a rampage here and they put up like a 12 spot here from here on out and win this game, is someone going to be able to get the Grizzlies out? Who on the mound is going to take the mound and start really taking control and stopping the NorCal Grizzlies offense? That's going to be the second part of what happens from here on out.
Yeah, and the question late in this game, late in this national championship, with pitch counts becoming an issue because these players are on a pitch count in the tournament. You wonder whether that starts to play a role, just because in a game like this, where there's been so much offense, so many pitches have been thrown, that could play a role as well.
Yeah. Well, dare I say, tying run to the plate, huh?
Yeah, they've batted around. Everett Hurst, the 9th batter of the inning.
Tying run at the plate. Who would have thought when this inning started? Well, this could, if the Sports 55 Elite team wins this ball game, it's going to be one of the great comebacks to win a national championship of all time.
2-1.
I mean, you're getting ready to get 8-run rolled a couple of times, and you battle back, and here you are.
And man, that was a storyline in team number 1 that helped team MVP tack on 3 runs. The wild pitches and the pass balls, and it has really been a storyline late in this ball game. As Ramirez moves to second. Swing and a miss for Hurst, and the count is full.
I mean, the last couple innings, it's just been amazing, the offensive explosions, coupled with the miscues.
Down on strikes. A punch out to retire the side, but excuse me, punch out for the second out, excuse me. A long inning and thought it was over. Said just out number 2.
Here's the old punch out right here.
And so Nate Cox, who started off the inning with a solo home run, has a chance to tie it. He's going to hit this one to the gap, and it's going to be off the wall. Ramirez is going to come in to score to make it a 1-run ball game. There's a throw to second, and he slides in there safely. Nate Cox has started the rally in the inning with a home run, and he's made it a 1-run contest.
Nate Cox, a double off the wall.
Let's go, Petey.
I mean, when he hit that home run to start the inning, I remember he was rounding third base. Coach Figueroa just gave him a kind of, yeah, nice going. There you go. And he was all excited. And now here you go. He's the tie run down there at second base. Now I should say third base, right?
Yeah.
I should say he's going to score.
He's going to come in to score, and it's 18-18. Look at the comeback for FTB Sports 55 Elite. They were 3 outs away from being run ruled in the ball game, and it is 18-18 here in the bottom of the 5th. They've clawed back from 9 runs down.
That's hard to do against a team called the Grizzlies. That's usually their modus operandi, and what a great comeback. My goodness. Well, hey, here we are. Championship game, bottom of the 5th. Let's just start all over. Here we go. 0-0. Well, offensively, you got to think there's nothing they could do to get me out. I mean, both offenses just brimming with confidence, and that's all part of just the conditions here. I mean, I hope people realize that all these wild pitches that you're seeing is not indicative of the talent level of these teams. It's just the conditions. It has been raining at this ballpark all day long, so it's just getting tougher and tougher to grip the ball.
It's got to be frustrating for Alex Williams, because we've seen him repeat a delivery that slipped out of his hand far left of the catcher a number of times this inning. And the go-ahead run is aboard at first. FTB has never led in this ball game.
And that's something. And what you have to do as a pitcher when the ball gets this slick is you're actually going to – you have to actually grip it almost as light as you can. The harder you grip it, the easier it is to slip out of your hand. It sounds like the opposite of what you should do. You would think it's slick, so grip it harder. Well, actually, you should do the opposite. Just grip it lighter.
And obviously that would go for pitchers and infielders as well.
Wow. Did he foul that pitch off?
Dylan Bell. Yeah, it is 0-1. Take a look at some of the pitching rules. If you pitch more than 3 innings on one day, you can't pitch the next day. You can pitch a maximum of 7 innings in one day and a total of 8 innings in a 3-day period. And that's where it's a little bit of strategy coming in on making sure that you have some of your top pitchers in the ball game. Both teams have used 3 pitchers. O'Day, Mitchell, and Ramirez for FTB Sports 55 Elite. Costa, Soderstrom, and Williams now for the Grizzlies. This popped up into right field, and it goes foul.
Straighten it out, kid. Let's go.
Dylan Bell at the plate looking for his 3rd hit of the ball game.
8, 9, and 1 coming up in the top of the 6th for the Grizzlies.
At the knees, strike called.
Unless the Sports 55 Elite could put about, another 8 on the board in this inning. That would close it out.
Payoff pitch, runner going with 2 outs. Bouncing ball. And across the diamond. Nice dig there by Coffey to retire the side. But what an inning for FTB Sports 55 Elite. They were 3 outs away from being run ruled. They score 9. 18-18 here from Texas.
3, 2, 1, go! Time!
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
Look at this score by inning, Nick. NorCal scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third. That's when they were up 11-1.
Yeah, if you're a pitching coach watching this at home, that's going to read like a Stephen King novel right there. Look at that.
You're having nightmares thinking about that, right?
That's nasty.
Sports 55, the 7 in the bottom of the third put them right back in it. They scored 1 in the fourth to pull within 2. And then NorCal rallies back with 7 in the top of the 5th, but that big number there in the bottom of the 5th, absolutely unbelievable. I'm sure that our audience has come and gone a million times in this one.
How often do you see a team give up 5, score 7, give up 7, score 9? I mean, you just don't see that.
I know they play a lot of slow pitch softball in this ballpark, and that's what it's looking like.
No, yeah.
Ramirez.
You could see in the background a crowd hanging in, though.
Yeah, the crowd stand by. They haven't left. Despite the big leads.
Big leads, there they are. They're enjoying it. And Yankee fans, Oakland fans, they're all here. Great setup here. I mean, I just love this place. It really gives that feel.
Well, I know we've said it a number of times, but the most important thing is that turf on the infield is the reason why we're playing here. You wouldn't be seeing Williams missing well outside if it wasn't for the turf. But the good news is we wouldn't have a national champion crowned if it wasn't for that as well. That's what Travel Ball Select about, trying to play these elite tournaments at elite facilities and making it an elite atmosphere.
This is an elite facility. Let me tell you, folks. I've been to a lot of facilities. This stuff is, I didn't realize it was going to be this neat when I got here. It's kind of blown away by it. I just love the way the whole thing's laid out.
Matt Mascio fouls that one back and away. Got plenty more baseball your way on ESPN this week. Friday night, we're down at Osceola County Stadium with a 14 and under USSSA Elite World Series championship game at 7:05. Then 10 and under semifinals at 8 and 10:30 on Saturday morning, and the 12 and under championship game from the USSSA Elite World Series. A couple weeks from now, Travel Ball Select on the 29th is down in California in West Covina at their Big League Dreams Park for 3 national championships going on at 9, noon, and 3 local. And then August 3rd, we're up in East Cobb. That's a great facility as well.
It's going to be fun, yeah.
For another TBS National Championship. So plenty of baseball on the air, and you're getting a chance to see some of the best youth players in the country battle. It's so great to see the skill level at this age, at 13 years old. And, you know, normally we're impressed by the pitching at this level, but today we've certainly been impressed by the bats.
How about this guy right here? Jorge Ramirez is what thrown 6 strikes in a row?
Yeah.
I think it's 7. I mean, it's been pretty darn good. And we talked about how hard it is to grip the ball now, the wet conditions. And he's been doing nothing but pumping strikes, 0-2 counts since he's been out here in a tie game. He is now the pitcher of record. How about that?
That's amazing. Well, hey, you know, you were telling in the last half inning that it was all about gripping the ball lightly. This one's going to be popped up to left field. Plenty of room, and it's holding for out number 1. You know, they might be watching the broadcast at home. They texted into the dugout. They said, hey, Nick Belmonte said the tip
just grip it lightly.
Is to grip it lightly. And he started to grip it lightly, and look at this. Mascio is retired to start the inning here in the top of the 6th. F7. I mean, if, and it's still a big if the way the Grizzlies have swung the bat. But Bell tossing it over to first for out number 2.
Nice.
It's a good
play
start.
On the short hop, Dylan Bell. Are you kidding me? Nice job, son. Little slick little short hop on the wet turf. Nice grab. 2 quick outs. How about the shutdown inning right here? Boy, you throw up a 9-run inning, you want a shutdown point, especially when it took 9 innings. I've never seen a game where 9 innings ties the game. If you've ever wanted to do a shutdown point, this would be the ultimate shutdown inning of all time in my book.
And if they can do a shutdown inning and score, they would put the Grizzlies down to their final 3 outs, albeit the way they've scored 18 runs, a big task.
Yeah, unless they put up an 8 spot in themselves and they can win it.
That's true.
They put up a 7-run inning and a 9 in the same game.
Hey, look good, George. Look good.
2-1.
Well, I'll tell you, it's rare that you see a team that had a 7-run inning and 9-run inning and they're in a tie game in the 6th. In fact, I actually never seen that. So
We've watched a lot of baseball.
Yeah, this is special stuff right here. The comeback, the double comeback.
You've already done an 18-inning game
I've done
this
an
year.
18 college game this year, NC State, North Carolina.
It just hangs with you when it's your year to have
18,
those.
that number 18's following me. It's 18-18 right here.
Base hit, 2-out single. And Jimmy McClenaghan is on for the 5th time in this ballgame, if you can believe that.
He's on again, McClenaghan.
Sam Nowitzki now.
Always a big out because of what lies behind him in the order. Williams and Soderstrom. They haven't figured out Soderstrom yet, and Williams, he's another tough one. So Nowitzki becomes a big key in this ballgame, the kid from Pleasanton, California. What a great part of the country, Pleasanton.
Nice place to visit, I hear.
My sister Darlene lives in Pleasant Hill, not far from there. Beautiful part of the country.
2-1, down and away, it's 3-1. Well, you got to go right back at him with Williams and Soderstrom awaiting on deck and in the hole. That'll work the count full. But you'd
big pitch here. Big pitch. You don't want to pitch to Williams and Soderstrom with men on base if you can help it.
And Ramirez is going to take time to think about it. Payoff pitch, 2 out, 1 on, upstairs, and a walk. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Big opportunity again for the Grizzlies. Alex Williams. The only blemish he has today is a ground out. Single, double, and 2 walks. At the plate again. Bouncing ball, knocked down. Ramirez underhands it, gloves it to first.
Wow, what a shutdown inning.
Big shutdown. Sports 55 Elite comes back down 9. They have a chance to take their first lead in the bottom of the 6th when we come back.
USSSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world. Headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida, USSSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, USSSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSSA.
At 10 years old, Bryce Harper's father's best advice was,
"Son, you just gotta swing away."
And swing away he did, setting records in every age group he played. And now at Major League All-Star as a rookie, as well as 2012 Rookie of the Year honors.
I've been using Swingaway since I was a kid, and I still use it as a pro.
Introducing the Bryce Harper MVP Edition, on sale for just $199 on swingaway.com. And now on sale at the Sports Authority or swingaway.com.
Well, how about the comeback for FTV Sports 55 Elite? At one point, they trailed 11-1. They worked their way back with 7 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. They were down to their final 3 outs when we started the 5th. They scored 9 runs in the bottom of the 5th to tie the ball game 18-18. And here we find ourselves in the bottom of the 6th with a chance to take their first lead of the ball game.
Pretty amazing stuff.
I want 3. Be hit out there, kid. Let's go. Come on, 1-3. Be hit him.
Justin Bernard is the new pitcher for the NorCal Grizzlies. Their 4th pitcher of the ball game. Diaz at the top of the lineup starting things off. It's been a battle for who's going to be the MVP, but right now, Nick O'Day's going to have an opportunity to certainly make his mark. He's got 2 3-run home runs in the ballgame, hit by pitch and scored in the 4th. And he's due up 3rd in this inning.
There you go. Dig.
Him and Soderstrom battling for that title. Race to first. And again, they're diving in, and I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure either. And you can get hurt doing it. I mean, you really can. And
is this coaching? What is this?
I don't know. I don't know if he slipped or whatever, but you can get very hurt. And,
Man.
And boy, if there isn't an advertisement for getting hurt sliding in the first, that was it. Run through the bag. Trust me. That's what you do. Do not slide in the first like that. Yeah, that kid almost got hurt.
I still keep imagining Usain Bolt ending the 100-meter dash with a dive.
Yeah, all of them, all 8 of them.
I guess he couldn't do his thunderbolt at the end. Maybe that's why he does it. Takes away from his mojo. 2-1 to Torres.
I just want to see another called third strike. I want to see one more shot at that umpire doing his ring up. He reminds me of a guy starting a lawnmower, the umpire, when he does his called third strike. I'm going to call that the lawnmower start.
3-1, and there's a base runner. And here we are in the sixth. That actually becomes a potential, albeit the Grizzlies have scored a lot of runs, but that's the potential national championship winning run aboard.
We'll just say potential lead run. How's that? The way this game's going.
Nick O'Day. He's got two 3-run home runs.
How about this guy? Now, wouldn't it be apropos if Nick O'Day hit his third home run in straightaway center where Reggie hit his?
Yeah.
Huh?
It
At
would
Yankee
be.
Stadium.
At
And
Yankee
it landed
Stadium.
in the exact same spot. So if he did hit 3, that would be a neat place to land it.
The way he's been hitting it, he's had an opportunity to hit it out of this ballpark. He just missed it on his last home run.
Ooh.
At the knees for a called strike.
Oh, there was a pitch to hit right there. He doesn't seem worried, does he?
No.
He's nice and relaxed.
You'd be confident too if you had 2 3-run home runs in the ball game. Up and inside, 2-1.
It's so difficult for these pitchers to actually, in these conditions, put the pitch where they want. It's almost like they're up there throwing knuckleballs and just wherever it happens, happens.
Bernard with a 2-1 in the dirt. That one gets away, and Torres goes into scoring position.
As crazy as this sounds, they wouldn't walk him, would they?
I mean, when you take a look at the day
Sets
that
up
O'Day's had.
Sets up a double play. Why mess with him, right? I don't know.
Austin Mitchell has just a hit. He's only 1 for 4.
I think I just put him on.
3-1. Ripped down the line. Great glove. They toss it over to first, and they got him just in time.
Wow, what a play. He puts a swing on that ball and equal to the task with Soderstrom at third base. Well, it pays off not putting him on base. But it took one heck of a play. This ball is smoked. Watch him get on top of this ball. He just hits the heck out of it. Soderstrom spins him around and throws a strike on the bag.
Potential MVP against potential MVP.
There you go. Can you get co-MVPs of those two guys? I guess it'll go to whoever wins this game.
Austin Mitchell got his first hit an inning ago. And both teams looking for a blank. Slow roller, fair ball, and the throw to first in time. Well, after all that scoring, 18 runs, both teams are blanked in the 6th inning. We head to the 7th, national championship on the line from Mansfield, Texas.
3, 2, 1, go!
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
Well, what a wild, wild ball game. 18 runs apiece, 31 hits combined. In 2 errors. Here we are in the 7th inning, and after all that scoring, neither team able to score in the 6th. I think that may be one of the biggest surprises of this game.
That's a real big surprise. And we saw sparkling defense, a couple of great defensive plays. The Grizzlies with no errors in this ball game made 2 great plays. Soderstrom and a great play by Mascio to end the inning. The catcher just jumped on that ball, made a nice play. So let's see what happens here in essentially the last inning of this ball game. Of course, we're tied, but
Ramirez looked like a completely different pitcher an inning ago.
Sure did.
Gripping the ball maybe a little lighter in the rain.
You never know. A game that you feel bad for whoever loses this game, but well-deserved whoever wins this game.
The ebbs and flow of a ball game, you know, you got the feeling when it's 11-1 that it was essentially over. I mean, that's just the way baseball usually works. Most teams at that point, I don't want to say they give up, but for whatever reason, you rarely see that type of a comeback, let alone twice in a ball game, Nick.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not sure that I've seen it in recent years.
The roller coaster ride is apropos because Six Flags is right down the street.
Water park right across the street, but obviously I'm not sure that the business is real hot today with all the rain.
Well, it was 100 degrees yesterday at this time.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that it's cooled off. The bats haven't cooled off, that's for sure. There's a leadoff hit. This is the final inning of regulation. And Tate Soderstrom is a perfect 6 for 6. In the national championship game.
Well, let's see, do they sack or swing away? I mean, this is all about the big innings, and we have not seen the sacrifice bunt today. We saw a few in the first game opportunities, but it looks like they're going for big innings, and why not, based on what we've been seeing.
Off the glove of Mitchell. Soderstrom moves into scoring position. 6 for 6 with 6 RBIs. Oh, excuse me, 7 runs batted in. I apologize.
I think O'Day has 6. Soderstrom has 7.
It's a moment they're glad it's being recorded. Because at least when they tell their children about it, they'll be able to have proof. Especially on the Sports 55 elite side. They're part of a ball game where they trailed big twice. Big swing by Sean Rooney. This one back deep, and it's gone. Another home run, and the Grizzlies are back on top, 20-18.
Red Sox fan, favorite player, Big Papi. Well, he does his great Big Papi imitation right here. Sends it out to left center field at Yankee Stadium. Almost hit it right down there in the tunnel. That is a big blow right there. Look at Runes rounding the bases, big smile on his face, and then you see the after effects. The disappointment in Ramirez, but you know, if you're Ramirez, you can see the reaction. You gotta play on here because your team's capable of putting up a 9-run inning, so you can't let this snowball. You just gotta keep battling.
And a wise move, I think, to huddle up the team, and you just got to remind them about all the times they've clawed back.
Yeah, it's just another dip in the roller coaster. All it is.
Costa.
You can't let this snowball. I mean, there's nobody out. You got to harness it in here and really concentrate. Look, it's easier said than done. I mean, his mind, what's going through his mind is he just gave up the game-winning home run, but that's not the case. You can't think like that.
Strike called, it's 1-1.
You got to keep pumping strikes. Get in that dugout as quick as you can and let your offense go to work.
38 combined runs in this ball game.
What do we have in the first game? 7?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's all about balance.
7 or 8, right? Or somewhere like that. It was. Let's put it this way. Nothing like this. We've seen more in one inning than we've seen
the entire first game.
Right, one half inning, I should say.
2-2. Costa fouled it back. And you go through the line score for each batter. Takes us a while. It may take you an entire bat. Strikeout, walk, ground out, single scored, and he reached on a drop third strike. And he's battling here with nobody out. A battle of the best in this one. Payoff pitch.
That's not what you want to see if you're a pitcher there. You throw a 3-2 pitch over the plate. You've been having a tough time gripping the ball, and he fouls it off. But you have no choice. You gotta do it again.
Hot shot to third. Bell hunkers it down, tosses over to first. Great reach there. Nick O'Day tracks it down, and a strong throw there for out number one.
George, stay down, buddy. Let's go.
We've seen some tremendous defense today. The current pitcher for the Grizzlies, Justin Bernard.
Now, Bernard, they were able to handle early in this game. He had 2 at-bats early before being replaced. And you got to think of it this way. You got a 2-run lead, or a 2-run deficit. You got Sapp leading off for you. There's a good chance he's going to get on base and bring the tying run to the plate fairly early on in the inning. So that's why you just got to harness it back in. You got a 3-0 count. You got to come all the way back and figure out how to get these last 2 outs and get yourself back in the dugout.
Full count.
I mean, you can't be fancy here 3-1. I mean, you just got to just throw it right there.
Let's fight it up there, George. Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
Payoff pitch. This one lifted to left, and a diving snag there for out number 2.
Way to go, George. Way to fight.
A good recovery here for FTB Sports 55 Elite after giving up that 2-run home run to Sean Rooney.
R.J. Diaz, nice job on that catch. And what I've seen here, and I like, is Ramirez figuring out a way. Doesn't have his best stuff. Ball slipping out of his hands, but after the home run, he's gotten 2 quick outs. Well, not quick, but he's gotten 2 outs, let's just say. And you know what? The way this game was going early on, if you would have told Sports 55 Elite, you'll be down 2 runs with 1 at-bat, would you take it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? So there you go.
Bell to first, inning over, but the big swing of the inning, possibly the national championship winning swing. Sean Rooney goes deep, a 2-run home run, and Sports 55 finds themselves down to their final 3 outs once again in the 13U National Championship game.
USSSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world. Headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida, USSSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, USSSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSSA.
At 10 years old, Bryce Harper's father's best advice was,
Son, you just gotta swing away.
And swing away he did. Setting records in every age group he played. And now at Major League All-Star as a rookie, as well as 2012 Rookie of the Year honors.
I've been using swing away since I was a kid, and I still use it as a pro.
Introducing the Bryce Harper MVP Edition. On sale for just $199 on swingaway.com. And now on sale at the Sports Authority or swingaway.com.
Well, Look at this wild ride. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, 7 in the fifth, 2 in the seventh for the NorCal Grizzlies. Sports 55 Elite, 1 in the second. The biggest one, that 7 runs in the third, brought them right back from being down 11-1. They picked up just 1 in the fourth to make it a 2-run ball game. But then 9 in the fifth came back to tie the ball game. And now they find themselves down by 2 with the national championship on the line. But they've been here before. They've already been down to their final 3 outs, and they found a way.
Well, you know, they battled back from a 10-run deficit and a 9-run deficit. This should seem like not a whole heck of a lot, right? You're only down 2.
And James Sapp starting things off. He's reached 3 times in the ball game, and he scored every time he's come to the plate, including an RBI single in the fifth. 1-1. Bouncing ball, a stop by Williams. They throw it across, but there's a leadoff hit, and the tying run comes to the plate. And this is what you were talking about there in the top of the 7th.
That's what I
You said you know James Sapp's going to get
he's
aboard.
probably going to get on base, and now the tying run's going to come to the plate right away. So Sapp's back on, and that's why it was so important for Ramirez to hone it in after the home run, get the outs, which he did, and now he's got a situation where hey, he comes up as a potential tie run.
George Ramirez, sacrifice, single, intentional walk, walk. And man, it's got to feel good to get this opportunity after giving up that 2-run home run. Line but foul, it's 1-1.
Boy, he just missed hitting that in the right field corner right there. That big, strong kid. Hey, look at that. Productive day.
He represents the tying run. Bernard misses well outside. It's 2-1. Well, Sports 55 is hoping that it's at least a 40-run ball game combined. They'd love for it to be a 41-run ball game combined here. It goes final in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1, opposite field. That one gets down, and the tying run is aboard. They're on the corners with nobody out.
Way to get on, George! Way to go!
George Ramirez, another productive at-bat. Potential tie run over there at first base.
And the national championship winning run is at the plate in Everett Hurst.
Yeah, he represents, as you said, the national championship run. And he, for the most part, has been handled today by standards that have been set by the hitters, but has reached base a couple of times. We've got a big hit back in that big 3rd inning.
Slow roller, they get to second, they get 1 run needed, and it's 20-19, and look who comes to the plate now, but the one that sparked the rally with a team down 9, Nate Cox came to the plate, started off with a solo home run, and that's when they started to believe. Just that they could extend the game because they were down by 9. The goal at that point was just to get to the 6th inning.
And they still had to score another run. He just got them going that inning. But if he loses one here, this thing's over. You got to be so careful. I mean, you got a confident hitter up there right now. The ball is slick. You don't have the greatest feel for any pitch you're throwing. But that young man right there, Bernard, he's got to figure out a way.
0-1. Make it 0-2.
That's a nice pitch right there. He looks composed. Look at him.
Cox is a big batter here. Way outside, it's 1-2.
Well, that's a good pitch, though, with 2 strikes. See if you can get him to chase. The Nard Dog's going to have to figure out a way to get this thing done because there's nobody in the bullpen.
The 1-2, got him! That's a huge out there. And the Grizzlies are 1 out away from a national championship.
Watch this ball tail back in. This guy reminds me a little bit of Maddox. Look at a little slider. Hey, start the lawnmower right there, Mr. Ump. There you go.
So it's up to Pedro Figueroa to continue the national championship hopes. Called strike.
They're not holding the runner at first. I say you've got to steal here. Get yourself in scoring position. You're the potential tie run. No, huh?
No.
Wow. They're giving him second base. Now, why wouldn't you go down there? He's got to take off here. They're not holding him on.
1-1. This could do it. Bernard over to first, and the Grizzlies hold on. They're the national champions. What a ball game.
Now, those kids deserved it. They took 2 big blows from the Sports 55 elite crew, and they withstood it, added some in the top of the 7th, and hung in there. Great victory and a great ball game.
So Sean Rooney, his 2-run home run turns out to be the national championship winning run as the NorCal Grizzlies are the champions of the Travel Ball Select National Championship. We'll talk to the winners when we come back to Mansfield, Texas. What a ride this one was. 39 runs combined, and only 1 run decided it.
USSSA is the largest multi-sport athletic association in the world. Headquartered in beautiful Osceola County, Florida, USSSA has now grown to 3.7 million members, competing in 14 sanctioned sports. From fast-pitch softball, basketball, taekwondo, and golf to being one of the largest youth baseball programs in the country, USSSA has a sport for you. Log on to USSSA.com to find out how you can take part.
Play the best and play USSSA.
At 10 years old, Bryce Harper's father's best advice was,
Son, you just gotta swing away.
and swing away he did. Setting records in every age group he played. And now at Major League All-Star as a rookie, as well as 2012 Rookie of the Year honors.
I've been using swing away since I was a kid, and I still use it as a pro.
Introducing the Bryce Harper MVP Edition. On sale for just $199 on swingaway.com. And now on sale at the Sports Authority or swingaway.com.
Well, there are so many big moments in this one, but this is the biggest. Sean Rooney in the top of the 7th, a 2-run home run, what proved to be the national championship winning run, as the NorCal Grizzlies hold on and cling to a 1-run victory to win the 13U national championship. And there they are celebrating. The rings went back and forth. You take a look back at this ball game. At one point in the 3rd inning, they led 11-1 before FTB Sports 55 Elite came back to score 7. They pulled within 2, but then that 7-run 5th inning extended the lead, and they held on and withheld a 9-run inning that tied the ball game. And in the end, they win it by 1. And Nick Belmonte is standing by with the national championship winning head coach for the NorCal Grizzlies. Nick, what do you got?
Thanks, Bernie. We're here with Tom Graham and a guy that I don't know how you're standing up here after what you've been through today. You feel like it was like an Ollie Frazier fight taking those punches, huh?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are just they can hit, man. And so we just had to go pitch by pitch and try to locate those balls and keep these guys to singles and keep them in the park, I guess, is the best word for it. But our guys competed, and those guys are very, very good. So give them a lot of credit. But our guys, squeaked out one more than they did. So.
Well, it wasn't easy in that last inning. You had the old Nard dog on the mound, and we were watching him. He was as composed as can be, especially first and third, and nobody out.
Yeah, he's been a horse for us this week, and he had his struggles early, and we just talked about emotions, just controlling our emotions and just concentrating on per pitch. So he did a great job coming in and very stoic on the mound, so that was awesome.
Now tell me the truth. You're up 11-1. Now you're in the fifth inning. You got the 9-run lead. You're feeling pretty good, right? Coach, you're lucky you're out of the water. Yeah. You just got hit with the ice.
Yeah, that's right.
but you had to feel at that point things were pretty much in the bag, didn't you?
Well,
Did you learn a lesson in baseball right there?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing this a long time, and I know it can come back. But I knew these guys were very powerful, and I knew we just had to keep putting pressure on them, and we did a pretty good job. We let them off the hook a couple times, and they made some great plays a couple times with some layout catches and stuff. Yeah. So, but I knew they could put up a lot of runs in a hurry, so we were trying our best to again keep them in the park and just make plays.
Well, enjoy it. Congratulations
on a great
much. Victory.
Absolutely, thank you.
Tom Graham, back to you, Bernie.
What an unbelievable game! Punch, counter punch. In the end, the biggest punch was by Sean Rooney. His 2-run home run proved to be the game winner, as the NorCal Grizzlies, the national champions, winning it 20-19. Justin Bernard holds on. He picks up the final out, and the championship trophy is headed to the West Coast. That'll do it for a great day of baseball from Mansfield. We hope you join us on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Nick and I will be from Osceola County Stadium with a 14-under national championship for the USSSA Elite World Series and 3 games on Saturday morning, and plenty more TBS to come as we work our way to the national championships. For Nick Belmonte and our entire crew, Bernie Gunther saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.